My understanding is that Saudi Arabia, in the past few years, let's say the past 5 years, has been dealing with a very high oil price, which is really good for them. As an oil exporting nation, they make a fuck ton of surplus cash when oil price is high. And they've been using that to buy sports teams, build crazy mega projects like the Line and that giant fucking square, invest in tech companies. They've been buying esports. They've been, they've been flush with cash. And most of these things they've been buying are bad. Like, they're not economical. They're stupid investments. So as the oil price has been crashing, it's way down. Suddenly Saudi Arabia finds itself with a ton of bad spending, bad debts, and way less income. And so they're encountering a real economic crisis. I mean, it's kind of breaking OPEC lately. I want some more specifics on this, so we're going to watch a video about Saudi Arabia's economic crisis.
By Ground News. Even before the recent decline in oil prices, Vision 2030, Saudi Arabia's ambitious plan to diversify its economy away from oil via a series of eye-catching mega projects, wasn't...
Wait, let's look at it again. Billions of bets in the gaming industry, billions of bets in the sports industry, billions of bets on building Neom and EcoCity and the Line. Yeah, I think Neom is the Line, huh? But they also built that gigantic square in Riyadh, the Cube.
Wasn't exactly going to plan. Costs were overrunning, foreign investment was drying up, and the kingdom was running chronic deficits. However, the post-Liberation Day crash in prices has made things markedly worse. And on Tuesday, the Saudi Finance Ministry quietly admitted that they had borrowed more in the first quarter of 2025 than ever before. So in this video, we're going to explain the recent crash in oil prices, how it fits into the...
I mean, I respect them trying to be more like America by borrowing absurd amount of money they can't pay back. I guess more like every goddamn country in the world, really. Well, I don't know why I'm isolating us. Everyone's fucking doing it. Just fucking whatever you want, borrow for it.
The Saudis' $100 a barrel project and what this ultimately means for the Saudi economy.
Everyone? Yes, China.
Billions to get
China
some
is borrowing
comedians
like
there.
Fucking crazy.
Between the staging
China has
and all
about
that,
the same debt. If you do total debt combined, like state plus government,
I'm gonna call it convention.
China's like 300% debt to GDP.
A bunch of big time
Norway
comedians going over there.
All right, but not every country is a relatively small, homogenous, oil-producing nation. Most countries are fucking borrowing. All right, they have fucking things they gotta build or do. Ain't Norway.
If you're a TLDR fan and want to support the channel, then consider picking up a copy of our magazine. Too Long helps to fund all of our journalism and allows us to make free videos on YouTube like this one. You can learn more and buy a copy by clicking a link in the description. So to understand this story, you need a bit of context. As one of the world's largest oil producers and its largest exporter, Saudi Arabia's economy is dominated by oil. In fact, the oil sector accounts for roughly 90% of export earnings, 80% of state budget revenues, and 40% of GDP. Although much of that remaining 60% of GDP is in some way dependent on the kingdom spending its oil revenue.
Yeah.
While this might sound great, after all, who would say no to billions of dollars in oil revenues? This dependence on oil creates both political...
Me, I guess. I guess I'm just brave like that. I'd say nah. It's not about the money for me. I would still drill the oil, pump the oil, and sell the oil. I just wouldn't do it for the money. I still want everyone to use oil. I just don't want to make any money off it. I think I do it for the love of the game. It's the happiness of drilling.
And economic problems for the kingdom. Politically, it's a problem because oil alone just can't provide enough jobs to keep the growing Saudi population employed, and creates a vast inequality between those in oil and non-oil sectors.
Right.
So in order to keep the unemployment rate down to politically palatable levels, the government has to basically make up jobs, which is why something like 2/3 of working Saudis are employed by the public sector. Economically, this is a problem, because this dependence on oil undermines the competitiveness of Saudi Arabia's other export sectors via a phenomenon known as Dutch disease. And it just won't be...
What percentage of Norway is public versus private? I'm interested. Because I feel like Norway is almost the same thing. I feel like Norway makes a fuck ton of money off natural resources, and then everyone has a job with the government. They are the OECD country with the largest share of public employment. It is 31%. The average of other OECD countries is 18%. All right, so it's not a majority, but it's a lot. It's a lot. A third of all jobs are government funded, which is provided by oil.
Sustainable if oil demand declines in the coming decades. Even if demand persists, a dependence would still leave the economy at the mercy of oil price cycles, which have become increasingly volatile, making any rational economic planning pretty much impossible. To give you a sense of quite how volatile prices have been in recent decades, consider that between 2007 and 2011, oil prices doubled, halved, then doubled again, before plummeting to unprecedented lows in 2014 and...
Dude, oil is the original crypto, dude. It's a fun ride. You could make some, you could just fucking, we should all be buying barrels, dude. We should be fucking Robin Hooding oil barrels to make some real fucking cash. We should be hodling.
Briefly going negative in 2020. Anyway, to remedy these problems, in 2016, the kingdom's de facto leader, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, announced Vision 2030, an ambitious plan to reduce the kingdom's dependence on oil by developing its non-oil
Figured
economy.
that one.
Dude, it's so funny. Maybe he's gonna say this. I shouldn't say it, but I want to say it in a funny way. It's like, hey, our whole economy is oil. So let's take some of our oil money and invest in smart, future-forward things. How about fucking esports? How about a dumb esports tournament? How about we buy a bunch of sports teams and overpay for all the players? How about we invest in the worst tech company startups of all time? How about we give $100 million to fucking, actually $100 billion to Masayoshi-san so we can punt it on WeWork? That's how we leverage our future of this great nation.
In practice, this basically involved doing two things simultaneously. One, developing Saudi Arabia's export-led industry.
They're investing like they're teen boys buying all their favorite things. No, but literally. No, but not as a joke. Though their investment strategy reads like fucking rich teen boys with infinite money being able to just buy what they think. Yeah, I need a soccer team. I'm in Jurassic World pay for it. We're gonna build a league. Jurassic World pay for it. We're gonna build an esports tournament. Jurassic World pay for it. We need some cool tech stocks. Jurassic World pay for it. It's crazy, and that's the future of the. That's what the post-oil economy is supposed to be, and it's all these bets by
industries like tourism, mining, and manufacturing, to the point where they're internationally competitive and don't need to be subsidized by oil revenues. And two, developing Saudi Arabia's domestic economy to increase domestic demand and reduce imports by doing stuff like investing in education, building infrastructure, and providing cheap loans to small businesses. Now, this was always ambitious. Most oil exporting countries have struggled to break their oil habits, and those that have, most notably Norway, have achieved this by investing their oil revenues.
Can we get an email called Snorway that we can spam whenever Norway tries to brag about something? I'm sick of it, dude. I'm bored. I'm snoozing. I'm snoozing at Snorway. Like, we get it, but it's still cold. Okay? It's still fucking cold up there.
Over long periods of time. The timeline outlined by Vision 2030, however, is remarkably short. By 2030, MBS wants the private sector to account for 65% of GDP, with half of that coming from SMEs. Non-oil products to account for 50% of all exports, and renewables to generate 50% of the country's electricity.
Bro is dreaming.
Getting there this quickly was always going to be expensive, which is why, after the pandemic, the Saudis decided that they wanted to push the price of oil up to $100 a barrel in order to make sure that they have enough cash in the bank. This was also pretty ambitious. After all, oil traded at around $60 per barrel from 2015 until the pandemic, but the Saudis were optimistic that they could achieve this because of OPEC+, the expanded cartel of oil-producing states that now includes both Russia and Saudi Arabia, and thus has massive sway over global prices. Unfortunately though, this plan didn't really work, and prices settled at around $80.
Nah, I don't really want to go into this because it's fucking fascinating. Okay, so look, OPEC is a cartel, right? They get all these oil countries to team up and choose to voluntarily export less oil so they can keep the price high. The idea is that they all compete, it'll drive down the price of oil and they won't make as much money. But if they all agree to only voluntarily do a few million barrels each or whatever, then they can all make more money. And one of the things they did around this time period, this let's say 2015 to 2024 time period, was the United States started to get into shale and fracking, okay? And the shale revolution, where the Permian Basin in Texas started to add a full Saudi Arabia of oil output. Sorry, Saudi Arabia of oil output. I'm circling India. A full Saudi Arabia oil output, okay? So that was the plan. But then Saudi Arabia is like, okay, OPEC, here's what we got to do. Here's what we got to fucking do. We're going to all team up to voluntarily cut our exports to drive, actually, no, sorry, opposite. We're going to team up to mass produce oil to drive down the price so it drives these companies out of business so they can't be profitable. That was the plan. So between those years, they voluntarily extra exported. Like they drove down the price of oil on purpose to try and make this non-productive. And it didn't work. For whatever fucking reason, U.S. shale did not die. Even though it was not making any money, it just barely hung on. And then as it hung on, it kept growing. And now the United States has so much oil output, like again, a full Saudi Arabia added, that it's kind of breaking OPEC. It's like, it literally is an under-discussed story because it mostly happened, like the real breaking happened, it's happened over many presidents, but the result of it happened during Biden, and Biden did not want to talk about his victories in the oil market or like how much oil we were pumping because it's not a Democrat talking point. So it's under-discussed, but it is a big deal that like OPEC's power has been dramatically reduced since COVID, largely because of advances in things like shale and fracking, and because some of these OPEC member states have gotten antsy and started to like skirt the rules a little bit of the cartel.
Unfortunately though, this plan didn't really work, and prices settled at around $80 after the pandemic. This was in part due to a raise in non-OPEC production, including from Canada, Brazil, Guyana, and the US via shale. But it was also because the Biden administration started releasing oil from the US's strategic petroleum reserve when prices got too high. This caused immense frustration within OPEC+, and members started resisting further cuts. Angola actually quit the cartel last year, and it's become clear that some of its members, most notably Iraq, Kazakhstan, and the UAE, were pumping more oil than they were supposed to.
Yeah, they were cheating. Oh, that's great. Yeah, perfect example. So again, as the cartel started trying to control prices by telling people what they could pump, and it wasn't working, they got desperate. And so all these OPEC Plus members started being like, okay, we're gonna sneakily, because everybody has their own individual incentive. If they're like, hey, everybody, we're not gonna pump oil to make the price up, but then you secretly do, you make a huge profit. So everybody at OPEC has an incentive to cheat the system of OPEC while hoping everybody else follows the rules. And it's actually been kind of like breaking down because of they have lost their control over. It's very interesting. Like this whole story is very interesting.
This caused deep frustration in Saudi Arabia and forced the kingdom to unilaterally cut production by 2 million barrels a day in order to keep global prices high, bringing Saudi output down to its lowest level since 2011.
Yeah, prisoner's dilemma, yeah.
This also meant essentially accepting lower revenues in the short term, despite the fact that the Saudi budget was already coming under strain from the cost of MBS's Vision 2030 mega projects, like the Neom Line City and the new Saudi Football League. This caused government spending to surge, the Saudis to start running a chronic budget deficit, and the all-important break-even price, i.e. the price that oil is required to be for the Saudis to balance their budget, to rise to about $110 per barrel, according to Bloomberg Economics. This is why the recent crash in oil prices, which have now fallen to around $60 per barrel, looks so tough for the kingdom.
Yeah.
The immediate cause of the crash was Trump's Liberation Day, which dampened demand forecasts, but it's been exacerbated by the fact that the Saudis have
By the way, also worth saying, this crash in oil prices directly harms Russia. It makes Russia and their aggression in Ukraine much harder to sustain. So much of what funds the Russian war machine is higher priced oil. In fact, I saw an extremely convincing mathematical argument that showed that one of the worst things we did to hurt Russia was sanction their oil right around here. Because all that did was drive up the price of oil, which they then sold on the black market or to China and made more money anyway. And in fact, you could make the argument that the best way to hurt Russia in the war would be to have U.S. ships escort Russian tankers to their destination to basically help them sell as much oil as they want. Because it literally would actually drive down the price of oil on the open market and hurt their ability to fund their fund. It's like, the way this whole thing works is just very interesting.
That's
The
actually
way
really fascinating.
commerce plays out, the way sanctions play out is very interesting, especially if some country as big as Russia has a buyer like China or India. Like, you can sanction a small country for sure on oil if you have enough market power, but a big one you really can't. They will always find a buyer. And so it actually was weird how it ended up driving it up. Anyway, now that that's kind of changing and the oil price is crashing, it's hurting all the oil-based economies.
Day, which dampened demand forecasts. But it's been exacerbated by the fact that the Saudis have started to unwind some of the voluntary cuts that we mentioned a moment ago. A tacit admission that their $100 a barrel policy has failed. If prices stay here, Goldman Sachs estimates that the kingdom will run a $67 billion budget deficit this year.
That's nothing.
Well over double the...
The crowd craves competition and carnage reckoners. Will you earn their favor or die trying?
I had an existential crisis at the basketball. I went to go and watch the San Antonio Spurs. It's what they deserve, is 2 quiet woos and a single clap. You're not having a great season. But I went and I had a beautiful time. I turn up, I think, just as tourist experience, just to see how it is. Then the flag comes out, and the flag is the size of the whole basketball court. And then the anthem begins. And I went full Manchurian Candidate. My hat came off, my hand went up here, I just locked eyes at the flag. Just me staring, transfixed at the flag at the San Antonio Spurs game, surrounded by 18,000 morbidly obese Hispanics, just feeling that flag and that song pulse through. Oh, shit! It was good. You don't sing your own anthem. I found that very weird. You silently listen to somebody else. See, you go, no, we've paid a lady to do it. We're going to listen to the way she does the anthem. We're not going to waste our energy on singing our own anthem, which is frankly quite hard to sing and requires a professional singer. And you can't even sing along if you want, because she's doing all the funky stuff with the anthem. She, I love it. Such a good anthem. Best bit of the anthem is the pause right at the end. In the land of the free. I'm so free. I hope she says home of the brave, because I've been feeling pretty brave lately. And the home of the brave. Yes, bang, 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 bang. It's good. That's a real anthem. It's one. I spent a lot of time on Wikipedia, and that's one of the best ones. Luxembourg is great. New Zealand, I'm sad to say, is also great. Britain is appalling. God save the king. God save the people in that country from their fucking terrible anthem. God save our gracious king. God, I wish I was dead. I'm a slave to the crown. Euthanize all of us.
Doing all right.
I tell you, my own anthem. Again, I'm disgusted with myself. Are there Australians in the room? We got a terrible anthem. It's embarrassing. Let's show. Do any of the Americans know our anthem? You don't pay any attention to the rest of the world, and it's bizarre. You're running the show, and you couldn't give a fuck. You're invading places you've never even heard of before. We had our boys die in the sands of Iraq and Afghanistan. What anthem? Come on! Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free, with gold and soil and wealth for toil. It just keeps going like this. When we win at the Olympics, it's very embarrassing because other people have to hear our anthem. We got to change it to Thunderstruck as quickly as possible. That's what I do believe. That would be so sick. That would be so nice if we win the gold medal and our girls up there for the diving on the #1 platform and the flag comes down and everyone starts going, ah. Then we'll have a little self-confidence. Then we'll get some nuclear weapons. Then we'll be a real country. That's what I'd like to see. That's what I do believe is humanly possible for my country. It's a good country. You should be proud of it. It's an equal country, America. It's very equal. Black, white, Asian, Mexican, everybody's homeless. Everybody. The sheer numbers are a problem, but you got the spread. It's not like that elsewhere. I want you to know, if you travel, they don't have free-range homeless people the way that you have. They have a small number of homeless people, and the police chase them away with sticks from the concentrated areas. In America, you could be the richest man in America walking down Madison Avenue. There's a guy there threatening to eat your wife. And that's freedom. You got to be free and brave. If you're going to be that free, you got to be pretty brave. This is a land of opportunity, and that opportunity is to do heroin under a bridge. You have human trolls living in Austin. You got troll people. They're living under bridges. They're violent. They talk in riddles. And their riddles are not especially difficult to answer. It'll be like, what are you looking at?
This guy's so funny.
And you go, oh, I was looking at you. You're a 75-year-old woman with her tits out calling me a fat. I was 100% looking at you. I can't look at anything else. I look at the stars. I look at the trees. I still see her burnt into the back of my brain. What are you to do? What is the answer to the homelessness crisis in America? You just had a huge election. People didn't bring it up once. Anyone could have run on that. Anyone could have stood up and said, I'm going to fix the homelessness thing. They would have won that election. And we got nothing. We got nothing. We can't build them more houses. We can't kill them dead in the street. So I don't know what we can do. Is there a third option? I don't know. You get lots of beautiful opportunities for charity.
Well, maybe
I've started
save
doing what
that
you
for an
do.
actual
I've gradually
knocking 'em out of the
started. When I
ring.
first got to this country, I was treating homeless people like they were human beings because I didn't know you weren't. I didn't know you weren't meant to do that. And now slowly, I learn your ways. You got to look through them like they're made of mist.
Oh my God, that didn't hit.
Like they're human mist people. You don't want to look at them. You don't want to look away. You just keep moving. And yet, you have tremendous homelessness people. You know what I'm talking about, California. You've seen a lot of it. You got great homeless people. Our homeless people, they're over there. They're sad. They're quiet. They're in a corner. They're tired. Your homeless people, up and about, doing things, getting involved. They got a story. They got a plan. They got some reasons why they're homeless that they're going to share with you right now.
They always got a story to tell.
Their eyes, and that's beautiful. And I know that's the crack, but still, you got to. Crack is where the light gets in. You got to stay positive in this country. You got to have a good attitude. Boy, if you don't have a good attitude, you got nothing. I think he's, I don't know if he's homeless or just schizophrenic, but a couple blocks from here, there is a guy who raps at a Whatta for like 8 hours a day. He's rapping at an okay Texas burger chain through traffic, microphone plugged into nothing. There's no amplification. He's just going straight. If he didn't have the microphone, it may be a seizure, but he's working hard. Any other country in the world, that man would be doomed. He'd have no hope whatsoever. But in America, today he's rapping at a Whataburger. Next week he's rapping at an Olive Garden. Who knows? He's going places. He's doing things. You gotta have a good attitude, or you are just. I didn't understand why you banned Catcher in the Rye. Have you read Catcher in the Rye? Right. And they banned it, and I read it. I was like, ooh, juicy, strange book. Because American Psycho, you go, oh, I know why this got banned. It's because it's about a businessman who murders people, and it makes everyone very unhappy. And then you read Catcher in the Rye, and it's just, he's a sad guy. He's got a bad attitude, and he's in New York, and he thinks about fucking a prostitute, and then he goes, no, I'm not going to do that. And then he gets pneumonia, and the book is over. Did I miss a subtext or something in this book that had to... It's just that he had a bad attitude, and if you have a bad attitude in this country, you are fucked. If you work at Denny's and you have a bad attitude, you can't live. If you've got a good attitude and big tits and you work at Denny's, you can pull home $1,000 a week. If you can smile, if you can bring razzle dazzle. They had the band catcher in the ride. That's what your whole economy and culture is built on, is self-belief. I'm glad Kurt Cobain is dead. He was dragging this country backwards. These are my opinions. You don't have to go along with them. You don't have to be happy about it. I'm just saying, you're all much more comfortable with Dave Grohl. Smiling Dave Grohl. Jovial Dave Grohl. Doesn't write very many good songs, Dave Grohl, but he's high-spirited. I have struggled to keep a good attitude sometimes in this country because everybody's trying to fuck you all the time. Not fuck you in a pleasurable way. That's one of your parlance. Trying to fuck you over, I guess, is the other term. Like you'll be driving along and you'll hit a toll road and you'll go, can I get off the toll road? And I'll go, no. You're ours now. You belong on the toll road. You're going to get a letter in the mail. It's going to be $8. You're not going to pay it back. It's going to be $85 in a couple of weeks. They're always trying to get you. You go and you buy a plane ticket and they go, did you want to buy a credit card? No. At the end of buying a plane ticket, they go, are you sure you didn't want to buy a credit card? I go, this is really not what I had in mind when I was going to Cleveland. Then you're on the plane to Cleveland, and after the drinks, there's a lady who walks down. Did anyone miss out and get one of our credit cards that they wanted? No! The airlines in this country really compromise the American dream. They're awful. Every other country in the world, you want to buy a plane ticket, here's what they do. They figure out how many seats there are on the plane. And then they sell up to that many tickets, and then they stop. It's a wonderful system. It works really well. In America, they go, there's 150 tickets, 150 seats on this plane. What if we sell 151? And then maybe one guy won't show up and we will still have his money. Oh no, he did show up. I cannot believe this has happened again. As it has happened every single day at every single airport in the United States of America. We have no choice but to conduct a human auction. I thought we were finished with human auctions in America, but here at Southwest Airlines, they are back. And then I have to play a mini game when they do the human auction, and that's called Am I the Poorest Person Who Was Going to Get on That Plane? And the answer is yes every single time. I should wait for more money, but they go, anyone not getting on for $75? I go, whoa, yeah! Oh. I didn't need to get to Cleveland that fast. It's a great city. When I came to this country, I had nothing a year ago. I had no social security number, no bank account, I had no car, I had no job. I had 3 months on a house in Steubenville, Ohio, which is great. It's great. It's really...
I literally just like cannot move.
No, it is. I don't know how to put it into words. It's beautiful, and there are more street prostitutes than you can imagine. It's not hot either. It's not... they're sad. The bleak midwinter Midwestern street prostitute is... I thought they'd have like little skirts on. It's just a 50-year-old woman angry, waving at... Ah! Do you want sex? I'll give you sex. Ah! Money, sex. And you go, I got to see Pimpin'. I thought Pimpin' he'd have a big hat. He'd be walking around like this. It's just a lady's brother. It's just a lady's brother pushing her into a small car. And it doesn't look especially difficult, Pimpin'. I find... Sorry to bring a dampener to the evening, but... All the rappers is talking about how pimping doesn't look easy. It looks so... You don't need to go to university to pimp. Anybody can pimp. Pimping ain't easy. It's just big pimp having good PR. Trying to keep us out of the pimp game. Seriously, I've seen it. I've enjoyed the beautiful underclass of America. I got on the Greyhound bus. Has anyone never been on a Greyhound bus before? We've all done it? You haven't done it? Well, you shouldn't be allowed to vote because you don't know what it's at. Let me tell you. It's the worst place in the world. It's the Greyhound bus terminal is the worst place in the world. There are children in Gaza right now going, well, we're not in a Greyhound bus terminal. So, you know, you got to look on the sunny side where you can. Man, there's holes in the walls where vending machines used to be back when you could trust people. People are spitting on the ground.
Dude.
There's shit on the walls. Young Sheldon is playing at full volume on a television. I don't know why that was the most upsetting part of the whole thing. I got on the bus. I was sitting next to a man who was on speed, and I knew that because he opened with, "I'm on speed," you know? And then he just proceeded to tell me about how Chris Benoit only killed his family to send them to God, and you can't judge a man for that. And the restrooms were labeled ladies and gentlemen, which was hugely inaccurate. Scoundrels and whores would have been close to the mark, I do believe. I'm weirded out by the restrooms. I don't know why you call them restrooms. The shits I've been having on your diet have not been especially restful. It's an emergency or a tragedy every single time. I thought I
feel
had
like I
bowel
might have
cancer
needed
when I moved
just
to
by
this country
damage.
and got on your diet. And then there is a weird, you got a weird
Sustained a
thing in the
chance.
toilet
Had the
where in the
electrocute,
public
could
toilets
help.
there is a bit of the seat missing. You don't know what I'm talking about? You're looking up at me with such splendid incredulity. It's, have you never noticed that public toilet seats are different to the domestic variety? Think about it. Think about it. How are they different? You've been here your whole life. There's a chunk missing, brother. The front of the seat's not there. This has never bothered you? I spent months going, why? Why? Is it a hospitality thing? Are people like the front of that seat is for friends and family only? We don't trust members of the public with the front of the seat. I couldn't get it. I thought it was like a men's room thing so that we didn't piss down the front of the seat. And then I found out in the women's toilets when I went to take my photographs that also, you're also missing a bit
Jesus.
down the front of the seat. Does anybody know why?
Crabs.
Well, something should be done to find out why. I did find out why. I kept talking about it on stage until somebody told me why. It's because you're too fat. It's because you're too fat. So a toilet seat in public has to sustain a weight of at least 600 pounds. A circle will snap and a U will bend. So they... Don't groan. It's your country. Do something about it. Listen, in my country, I'm very fat. I'm a seriously fat man in my country. In your country, I look fine. I look, state by state, I'm looking okay in America. That's the diet I got on. You've got a real fat chunkster type issue going on. You've got fat people infrastructure. I've been going to the Walmart and riding around on the fat people scooters. I have a good time. That is beautifully American, is you don't solve a problem. You find a workaround and you keep going, you know? People are too fat to consume. Are we going to help them lose some weight? No, we're going to buy a machine. We're going to buy a big machine that makes a noise and makes it hard for everyone else to get around so all the big Debbies can go and get their little Debbies, and we'll just keep on trucking. It's all the time. We got too many homeless people. Can we give them a home? No, we'll give them fentanyl. We'll give them all fentanyl, and they'll sort it out amongst themselves. I do enjoy the supermarket. I go to the shops a lot. We call them shops. The store. I go to the store. I go to buy eggs, and I have one complaint, which is when you take your eggs to the self-serve checkout. It doesn't really matter if it's eggs. It can be anything. For me, it's eggs. And I'm going to buy the eggs, and then they go, did you want to give us an extra $1 to help save the bees? No. Not at all do I want to do that. You're a multi-million-dollar supermarket corporation, and I am buying the cheapest eggs. I'm not buying the fancy free-range eggs where the chickens get massages and to sing opera. I'm buying Guantanamo Bay eggs. And you have the audacity to ask me to cough up an extra $1 for a whole different animal that's not even involved in the egg process. And I pay it every time I give them the extra $1 to save the bees. Because I got an ex-girlfriend who's allergic. And I love knowing that the bees are out there wrecking her picnics forever.
got the E. Shooting flashlight.
Yeah, there was it's tight. They just went to the desert and just fucking
They were
vibed
asking
out.
me to go to the Middle East soon.
What? Where? Why?
Saudi Arabia and UAE or Dubai.
Dubai?
I think I'm gonna pass.
Yeah. For the troops? Is it for the troops?
Not for the troops. It's for the Saudis.
For the Saudi princes?
Yeah, and everyone's like, yeah, you should do it. Everyone's doing it. It's like, for Saudis?
Yeah.
Aren't those the 9/11 guys?
So I thought.
Aren't they exactly the 9/11 guys?
Alright, so if you heard the news, Saudi Arabia is currently hosting a pretty controversial comedy festival in their capital city of Riyadh, with some of the world's most famous comedians headlining the event. Huge names like Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle, and even Bill Burr are being paid millions of dollars to perform there in the next few weeks. And as you might have already guessed, their fans and their fellow comedians are really hating on them for it. Since Saudi Arabia has a long record
I was a
of
little
some
surprised about
serious
Bill
human
Burr,
rights
honestly.
violations and state-sponsored atrocities that these comedians are just gonna ignore while they perform there, I guess. Because if they don't, they could literally end their own lives. Like, it's actually illegal to say some things over there, and the crime is punishable by death. Just look at Jamal Khashoggi. So it's just an overall disappointing time to be a fan of comedy right now. And other comedians realize this too. I mean, just the other day, the guy who played Gabe Lewis from The Office, Zach Woods, hilariously summed up the whole thing in a TikTok post, where he put everyone there on blast, as they're essentially selling their integrity in exchange for enormous quantities of blood-soaked cash.
Guys, it's that special time of year. It's the Riyadh Comedy Festival. And all of your favorite comedians are performing at the pleasure of Turki Al-Sheikh. And he is the head of the entertainment authority over there. And he has so many people thrown in prison because they tweeted stuff he didn't like about the soccer team or whatever, that there's a wing of a prison nicknamed after him where they hang people by their heels from the ceiling. Now there's a lot of drips, killjoys, and dweebazoids who are saying, oh, they shouldn't do comedy over there because it's whitewashing a regime that just in June killed a journalist and killed Jamal Khashoggi and played a big role in 9/11. Shut up. Name one comedian who hasn't whored themselves out to a dictator. Sinbad in the 80s would go perform for dying Nazis hidden out in Argentina. Mr. Bean would do private shows for Idi Amin. Me and Bibi Netanyahu have collaborated. I pitched him a prank show called The West Bank. Let's not get our, moral panties yanked up, wedged high in our rumps. Human Rights Watch has been begging the comedians not to participate in the whitewashing of the horrors that are ongoing in Saudi Arabia. Ugh, what a cockblock.
And don't think for a single second that these so-called free speech warriors are just gonna go up on stage and suddenly turn into rebels, bravely using their sets as some kind of noble protest against the Saudi regime. Their silence has been bought, packaged, and paid for in full. They're gonna keep their mouths shut, tell some pretty safe jokes, collect the check, and then fly on home. Like, there is absolutely no room to deviate from that script. They're not even allowed to make hints at the ugly reality of what the government has done there. Just take a look at what happened to Tim Dillon. He got banned from the festival for something as small as mentioning Saudi slave labor on his podcast. A podcast that he records in America, mind you.
I was fired from the Riyadh Comedy Festival.
And the craziest part about that was that he wasn't even condemning the slavery. He was, in a weird Tim Dillon-y kind of way, spinning it into some dark humor that actually casts it in a positive light. But the mere fact that he let the word slavery pass through his lips was enough to get him axed without warning.
Well, they have slaves, then they kill Hey, 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 hey! Get over it! Get over it! So what? So what they have slaves? So what? My friend, not a friend, somebody I don't even know. I bumped into them in Tribeca. And he goes, I would never do that because I don't want to interact with slaves. I'm like, well, why not? They'd be deferential, right? I mean, I imagine the slaves in those countries are good at what they do.
That's how extreme the censorship truly is. Doesn't matter if you say it sarcastically, ironically, or even supportively. The regime doesn't want the word itself uttered, because the word reminds people of reality, and reality is the last thing they want leaking into their carefully manufactured spectacle. So here's Tim's reaction after he got fired.
My agent called me and told me they heard what you said about them having slaves. And I said, I was being positive about it. I was defending them. He goes, well, I know that. I know you were defending them. I said, I was defending them for having slaves. I literally said, slaves are probably hard workers and, for the most part, agreeable. But they didn't like that. I was saying that slaves were proud of some of the buildings they built. Now, I am very clear about the way I will do a gig. If I accept a gig, I am not going to break the rules of the gig. So I certainly wasn't going to show up in your country and insult the people that are paying me the money. One, it's illegal. So I wasn't really planning to go to a Saudi jail. But on my own show, in my own country, where I have the freedom to speak and say the things I want, I'm going to be funny and I'm going to be who I am. And if you're not buying that, I addressed it in a funny way and they fired me.
It's just so funny how he's acting shocked that they do something like this. Like, he can't believe that the Saudi Arabian government would do something so unbelievable and uncalled for. I mean, I know that comedians aren't the smartest people in the world, but to think that the Saudis won't micromanage every little thing you say leading up to the event is an extremely boneheaded thought. Again, they're paying them to be puppets. Like, they're not allowed to do the comedy that they've been doing for decades whatsoever. The things that Tim Dillon said that got him fired were, in fact, nothing burgers, as one would say. But to a government that throws women in prison for simply taking off their abaya in public, even the tiniest joke is treated like a national security threat.
My Islamophobia and my love of bacon are completely separate things.
Not only that, you can go to Muslim countries and yell, I love bacon. There's no laws against it.
I will be doing it at the Riyadh Comedy Festival very soon. Get your tickets! Get your tickets!
Are you really going to go there?
Of course I am.
Wow.
Why would I not? Would they kill gay people and women? By the way, we've said that about, we say this about every Muslim country is throwing gay people off the roof all the time, by the way, okay? I obviously don't agree with Saudi Arabian policies on women and things like that.
Yeah.
Is it my business to tell Saudi Arabia how to live? Truly.
How big was the check?
$375,000 for one show.
Nice.
That's not bad.
That's pretty good.
That's not bad.
I'll take that.
I'll watch a behanding for that.
Behanding?
Yeah, it's called a behanding. What happens is they cut the hand off the thief.
Yo.
And I know some of you
I
might be
played that
thinking
bad,
that for the
but
amount of money
holy
that Saudi Arabia is
fuck,
paying,
what I watch.
anybody would be an idiot not to go. Which is only fair if they were being paid
Doctor out of my
Cristiano
old.
Ronaldo money, okay? They're not, though. And in my opinion, they're not even being paid anywhere close to an amount that justifies going. Like on the same podcast that got Tim fired from the festival, he actually mentions how much everyone was getting paid to perform there, listing figures as high as 1.6 million and as low as 150K.
You're coming out and saying you're doing the Saudi thing for money. They're paying you a lot of money. I'm not going to tell you how much they're paying me. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how much they're paying me. $375,000 for one show. Now a lot of other people are getting 1.6 million. That's not me. I'm not in that bracket. But they're giving me $375. Others are getting 150. Why are they doing it? Here's the point.
If this is true, and 1.6 mil is the highest they're paying people, then this is more pathetic for the comedians than I'd ever thought. Don't get me wrong, $1.6 million is a lot of money, but for the impact that this is going to have on their reputations, it's really not enough, especially for someone like Kevin Hart, whose net worth is something close to $500 million. And don't even get me started on the people who accepted the 150K. That's possibly the funniest thing to come out about this festival. Like, sure, 150K is a lot to most people on Earth, but these comedians easily clear that on tour, where, might I just add, they're allowed to say pretty much whatever they want. A guy like Theodore von Kernatowski III literally makes 150K in one night. Just take a look at one of his pay stubs that someone leaked online not too long ago. So this is just some absolute scumbaggery coming from a lot of these court jesters. It's what I'd expect from people like Andrew Schultz and Whitney Cummings, but Bill Burr honestly caught me off guard. I love the guy and was hoping he'd try and make a stand for what he believes in when he performs there, but being that Tim Dillon was fired for even mentioning slavery in his own country, I'm pretty sure Bill Burr's just gonna play it safe, which makes him no better than anyone else on the list. And him performing there just hollows out everything he preaches about on his podcast. I mean, he's even recorded himself talking smack about people who accept money from the Saudi government way back in 2011, which now that he went and performed there just sounds like jack shit when you go back and listen to it again.
Because no one ever raises money for terrorists, right? I guess, unless you do a comedy show in like Saudi Arabia. Isn't that what they do? You know, that's how they raise money with their filthy fucking oil money.
But hey, as one legend of the channel sadly fades into the background, another rises up to fill the void, as Mark Maron has been one of the comedians calling out the Riyadh disaster lately, just as I thought Bill Burr would.
And, like, don't get me started about the Riyadh Comedy Festival.
Oh, I think I saw that. Yeah, that looks like...
You think you saw it? How is it
Oh, no, I did see that, yes.
It's like under the radar that all these huge acts,
Mhm.
I can name names,
Yeah.
but you can just go look it up, were offered complete, ridiculous amounts of the bloodiest money on the planet.
Yeah.
you know, but it's like, does it just come to that? And look, I can maintain this position. 'Cause One, I wasn't.
Yeah. That's always
just one shot.
And I don't think I'd go. I know I wouldn't, but it's like, does history not matter at all? I mean, literally, it's like the Riyadh Comedy Festival from the guys who brought you 9/11. Do you know what I mean? It's like, is that just nostalgia?
Well, there's a Riyadh Comedy Festival. I don't know if you heard about that. This is true. There's a Riyadh, Saudi Arabia Comedy Festival. I mean, how do you even promote that? I mean, the same guy that's going to pay them is the same guy that paid that guy to bonesaw Jamal Khashoggi and put him in a fucking suitcase. But don't let that stop the yucks. It's going to be a good time. Full disclosure, I was not asked to perform at the Riyadh Comedy Festival, so it's kind of easy for me to take the high road on this one. Easy to maintain your integrity when no one's offering to buy it out, you know?
I honestly don't think that these comedians or their managers realized just how much people were going to trash them for doing this event. Because Bill Burr performing in Saudi Arabia is not really the same as Ronaldo playing soccer there for $700 million. Ronaldo's job requires him to kick around an inflated ball for 90 minutes straight. Bill Burr's job requires the freedom of expression, and Saudi Arabia is one of the last places on earth where that's found. I mean, the only place that I could think of that would be worse would be if somebody performed for Israel or for the US government. And yes, I'm aware that some of you may be thinking that simply performing in the States is worse than performing in Riyadh, since the government here is in fact funding a genocide. But comedians don't perform for the US government when they do comedy here. They're performing for separately owned venues. And whenever comedians do decide to perform for the US government, everyone rightfully shits on them for it. Like when Theo Von went to perform stand-up comedy for Donald Trump in Qatar. That was a really shitty thing to do. I hope I made that very clear. But anyways, at the end of the day, it's pretty simple. Taking Saudi money means selling out your voice, and no punchline in the world is worth that.
We're at an ICE recruitment event today, trying to get hired as agents. Nobody wants to be the guy that let the best damn Roundup boys in the Southwest walk. Where's the Tapatio?
¿Dónde está el Tapatio?
ICE is in Utah searching for people to hire. A Department of Homeland Security job fair in Provo drew hundreds of attendees Monday.
I've been doing push-ups. Officer, I'm on a cycle of steroids.
You can hear the protesters behind me shouting at applicants as they walk in, calling them Nazis and fascists.
If ICE is today's Gestapo, I'm about to be goose-stepping.
As President Donald Trump continues his immigration crackdown, Immigration and Customs Enforcement is looking to add more than 14,400 new employees by the end of the year.
And that's why we're hell-bent on proving we got what it takes for the job.
Do you have a large penis?
Yes.
You get out, you show me your identification right now!
Now, our fake ice raid bits in Los Angeles this summer got us quite a few death threats online.
Probably over 20. I guess some people don't understand satire, but to appease the death threaters, we're gonna go mess with ice.
Look at
So
this guy.
this guy's a terrorist right there, watch this.
Obviously.
Oh, go back to your own country, yo!
But even a caricature of hyper-militarized commandos harassing peaceful flower salesmen, even that was too subtle for the protesters here. And more death threats are coming up.
I'll be dead tomorrow. See you on the streets.
You're on the streets right now. If you want to kill me like you said you wanted to do, you can kill me, dude.
And even Charlie Kirk wasn't off limits to some of these people.
Charlie's dead. Charlie's dead.
All you've got is saying, go fuck yourself and make in front of a dead guy. Again, dude, you're a piece of shit, dude.
Because of that, we paid our respects to Charlie at Utah Valley College, where the tragic incident unfolded.
Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you can turn that $200 into something bigger.
Sign up and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Now, I asked the ICE director whether or not the quality of the candidate would lower because of this huge push. He said no.
Damn straight, Toots. Now like the video and subscribe to the channel, because Leo and I are going in.
Looking good, man.
Let's go. I hope you got the job, buddy.
You're gonna get it. They need that bald head for aerodynamics.
That's right, baby. How are you? Sure you get my tricep in there. Oh, yeah, get that tricep.
Any applicants here, or is this all press?
Oh, this guy's an applicant.
I'd hire this guy.
I spoke to Army veteran Ricky, who has a temporary job offer from ICE.
Well, you have to step up for a calling.
Damn, dude, you look running back? You play football in college?
I was safety in Mississippi State.
My man, dude.
He knows how to tackle hard, Leandro.
That's right, we need that.
We need that. We need somebody who knows how to tackle an insurgent.
Good, bro. Thank you, man. Thank you, gentlemen.
That hip-shoulder ratio, that's what I should be looking for. This guy's built like a capital letter Y.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
That's what we need, baby.
Hell yeah, you guys are awesome.
We might need you in the secondary today, if you know what I'm saying. Any of these bullhorn-toting commies, get out of line. Yeah. Easy over there, buddy. We're not the right ones to mess with. We're not the right ones to mess with.
We're gonna do what's right for America.
Today's Gestapo? If ICE is today's Gestapo, I'm about to be goose-stepping.
Okay. A little pun, an ice pun. I don't even.
Oh, they're gonna hire us. 100K plus Benny.
Make me faster.
Plus, oh yeah.
Yeah, cheetah pants, they make me fast. You need speed.
He's embodying the animal he wants to be like.
See that first step? Look at that first step.
Your spirit animal would be a banana slug. You'd be leaving a trail of slime everywhere you go.
You gotta laugh over there.
Dominated. We're recruits, man. I don't like to count my eggs, but I'd say we already got the job.
Yeah, I'd say so.
The tape we put together that we're gonna show, we got a video resume. That's next level. Oh, yeah. That's next level.
Hell yeah.
This is nice.
If you are applying for DHS, you will become a part of the problem.
Part of the solution.
No, it's not.
The final solution.
No, it is not.
Oh yeah, it is.
There is a right way to do it. Everybody should be treated equally as far as if they're here, they have a right. Why is there not a due process to actually take people out the right way?
Because when you're dealing with the Hun, logic, laws, they don't apply. You know who the Hun is.
Those are the people
You know who the Hun is.
It's not even a criminal.
Talk to my Hun-slapping hand. I knew I smelt a communist.
It's easy to spot a commie.
You guys want to see? We got. What was that?
I said it's real easy to spot a Nazi.
Oh, yeah?
Nazi. Psh. If you're implying we look great, I assume those are adulterated. I will not be poisoned. I will not be poisoned by a political actor.
You're too hot for this.
Thank you.
Officers, we're being harassed. This is noise pollution. Yeah, that's right. It's a double bicep. I'm hitting the double bicep. You are attractive.
Yeah.
I think after I come out of there with that fresh job offer, you're gonna be switching sides.
Yeah, I'll take you to dinner, show you what's up. We'll even go to a Mexican joint.
You know what ruins families? Fentanyl. Fentanyl ruins families.
Hey, guess what? That we can agree on.
You know what ruins families? Sex trafficking ruins families. They're coming up on us, sir.
I appreciate it.
See, what's this? She's all up on me. It's a common reaction, officer. It's a common reaction with the ladies. They often give me a little bit of this.
We got a pole back on our hotel room, though, if you want to dance on the pole.
We're the days in, if you want to come dance. Darling, I'll spend my first ICE paycheck taking you to Olive Garden.
Oh, yeah. Breadsticks, baby, and endless salad.
However many you want. Oh, no, we have our tickets. We're applicants. We actually have a resume, too.
Yeah.
Oh, go back to your own country, oh! Oh, hi, ICE. Looks like you caught us on a typical day.
We're just passing out self-deportation literature here in Los Angeles.
No need to thank us, though. It's part of our work with
Special Patrol for Illegal Criminals! But we're done with the amateur shit.
We're ready to join ICE.
So is this a protest, or are you guys really looking for a job?
Oh, we're looking for a job, sir.
This is what we're born to do. Don't show them that?
Sir, or there's too many Poindexters coming in here from BYU with just a paper resume on 9x11 paper. We got to stand out. We got to show them we can take the heat, that we're not afraid of the community, and we got to show them that we've been active since before we got the job.
Also, we're creative.
Oh, I
This
should
is
have fucking
important, right? You got to be
stacked my
creative when you're
curves.
catching
I'm so
these
stupid.
illegal.
Yeah, you can convince this guy here.
All right, yeah, we'll show.
Legitimate about getting the job?
Yeah.
There's no recording of such.
Sure.
We don't want to inadvertently get somebody's PII.
In the wake of the Charlie Kirk assassination, which happened about 4 miles from here at Utah Valley University, I got the sense that people were feeling more cautious. An event official told me that we weren't allowed inside the building or even on the outside property due to heightened security.
At first, we were pretty small. It was hard to find a packaging company that could work with our scale. We were making small batch skincare in our kitchen, and then it.
I don't know. Local out of here? You go to the U or you go?
Oh, we're from the belly of the beast, Los Angeles, my man. And that's part of this recruitment video.
Yeah. Oh, it's wild out there.
We were at the riots. We were out there as civilians. We tried to line up with the LAPD. We ended up getting batoned, but it was worth it for solidarity.
Yeah.
So this is just a little, this is about us passing the drug test. We'll pass the drug test.
They're moving people in and out assembly line style. They're offering drug testing on site.
Giving you a sample might be tough, though, because I just emptied my bladder on an illegal's fruit cart.
2! We have nothing to hide.
So don't worry about us passing the mandatory polygraph either.
But just to put your minds at ease, we already took it.
Do you have a large penis?
Yes.
Have you slept with hundreds of women?
Yes.
Is Vin Diesel a bitch, and can you knock him out with one hit?
Yes.
Yes to which one?
Both.
That's important. Thank you. That's what I was thinking.
I don't know if you heard.
Yeah. That's important. I feel like you guys are a couple of men of the hammers, you know?
Grande, to use the parlance of the Hun.
Yeah.
We really just want to show them.
Understand that stuff like that is not going to be allowed?
For our safety, just in case the commies attack, you know?
In light of recent tragedy, we don't want any of these people to take a pot shot at us.
Yeah.
And they look capable of it.
Yeah, honestly.
Albeit inaccurately. I don't think any of them can shoot. Hey, how's it going, sir? Doing fantastic.
First round recruit, sir.
Daniel, first round recruit as well.
Got it. What's the first round recruit?
Well, we think it's going to be a no-brainer for ICE to hire us.
Yeah, I got it. My 60-yard dash, 5.8.
60-yard dash is important out in the desert.
We're not dashing today, though. We don't allow filming, so those got to go.
Okay, even for our protection? There's metal detectors in there, so we're safe.
What if the janitor or somebody's undercover and they just go at us with a mop?
Then I've got 150 armed agents
If that's how
inside
big of a
already.
concern of yours, you probably should come back another day.
Sir, I really appreciate your cool demeanor. Can we just show you the second half of our recruitment essay here? Hey, open this bus door. You get out, you show me your identification right now. The question is, do we have the stomach for the raids?
The answer is yes.
We've been training.
Special Patrol for Illegal Criminals cruises Los Angeles, looking for terrorists and grabbing them.
Flores,
Flores para la venta. Flores.
We got an insurgent!
Perra, te voy a decir a tu madre.
So I'm not trained in the techniques exactly, but appreciate it.
Yeah, the tactics are sound,
Yeah.
I assure you. No, watch this. This is where it gets good. This is where we took a page out of Guantanamo here.
Then we blindfold them and take them to one of our black sites.
Let's get spotted here. Now you're in trouble. Clear this one up. And through enhanced interrogation, we get the answers we need. Where's the Tapatio?
¿Dónde está el Tapatio?
No sé.
Where's the Tapatio?
Where is it?
No sé.
This is way above your pay grade, lady.
Now, I know you heard my Spanish, and I know what you're thinking.
How the hell do we let this taco terrorist in the building?
Trust me, I hate myself more than you hate me.
He self-flagellates every day to punish
Jesus
himself for his
Christ.
Latino heritage. And whenever he has to speak more than a paragraph of Spanish in the line of duty, he washes his mouth out with soap.
We all love Alligator Alcatraz. Well, we've been drafting plans for a new prison.
The Bestiality Bastille. Because going there is gonna suck monkey dick.
Literally, everybody has to wear a wig, and your cellmate's a baboon.
Due process? How about do Kegels? So your asshole is tighter for your baboon cellmate.
So why hire us?
We made our bones in Los Angeles! Ground zero for the terrorist invasion!
Which one of you provincial pussies is gonna tell us we don't got what it takes?
I'm done with the video. If you guys want to come in, take these off, put that down, and you can come in as a candidate. If you're not going to come in as a candidate, back to the sidewalk.
Is it because he's Native American and he speaks Spanish?
No, actually, my son is a Native American.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So,
Well, sir, my soul is white, like I was saying, and maybe I speak Spanish, but I'm not Mexican.
done discussing.
Okay.
In full disclosure, he's Colombian.
Yeah, and Argentinian.
And if you want to cavity search him,
I'm okay
it's
with
probably a
that.
wise idea.
I'm ready for that.
It's just, again, I'm afraid.
Awesome. Good. Head to the sidewalk, please. Thanks.
I'm afraid Jorge or somebody in there to clean up is just gonna lunge at us.
And Emilio.
Officers, I really think you're missing out on some first-round recruits.
And we are 6'3". We're jacked. Thank you, sir.
Nobody wants to be the guy that let the best damn Roundup boys in the Southwest walk.
Guys, don't go anywhere. We have a mega blowout, ripe with death threats, incoming. But first, a word from our great sponsor.
This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but with Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this football season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Yeah. Football is how I escape the grind of content creation, and boy, do we got a big game coming up. Who do you got, 49ers or Rams next Thursday? Sorry to tell you this, man. I think Stafford and the boys are going to slice through that injured 49ers D. 49ers or Rams? Rams. That's what I'm talking about. Nick Bosa's out. How are they going to slow down Stafford? Prize Picks is the only app to offer stacks, meaning you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. Want to pick more on Josh Allen's rush yards, pass yards, and touchdowns? Well, now you can take all 3 on the same lineup. Follow other Prize Picks players directly on the app and copy their lineups with one click. Whether it's a friend, a celebrity partner, or just somebody whose picks you like, hit the follow button and check out every lineup they create on the new Feed tab in Prize Picks. So download the Prize Picks app today and use code MULLEN to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. That's code MULLEN to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. You guys don't want to be that. Start steroids? So what's the plan?
It's very nice of you to think that I'm on steroids. It's only testosterone and some sups. Just tests Just test
GLPs, some GLPs for leanness too.
Yeah.
If you can see the abdominals, we're on the GLPs. It's tough.
You want to see my abs?
Oh.
Don't come out.
Oh yeah, I like that. I like that. I'm on an anti-aging regimen too.
Hair trail, it's very gay.
Well, why are you slamming the gays? I thought you guys were all about that.
So I get to make those jokes.
Okay, well, I should be part of your community. Yeah, that's right, Sorensen. That was too far.
I appreciate the fact that she's gay, but still, you can't.
Yeah, you're doing your cause disservice.
Do you appreciate the fact she's gay? Right.
No, I just wish she would treat herself with some decorum and the people around her. You know, comments like that, they don't get us anywhere.
This is decorum right here. This is decorum.
You
right
ain't
here.
seen nothing yet, babe.
You see my lat spread?
October 1st, it's an epic Champions League showdown between two juggernauts as the Young Guns of Spain.
Officer, the plan, first of all, is cash money riches, hoe sluts bitches.
Always.
And then it's some amateur roundups around town. And then it's around town.
These are the people that are playing. But we also are totally fine with the Epstein files staying blocked.
You know, that's not my business. Again, I'm laser focused on apprehension. I'm about fentanyl and trafficking. That's what I'm about.
You're not trafficking? Okay, but Epstein was trafficking.
Listen, that's above my pay grade. I'm going after 5'1" guys with brown skin, okay? A 6 foot tall Jewish billionaire above my pay grade for right now. I'm just trying to get my foot in the door.
Only the black and Mexicans, right?
Essentially. And also some Europeans and Chinese. They're coming across the southern too.
Are you a fan of Andrew Tate?
He's a hero of mine.
He's a convicted sex trafficker. Yeah.
You know, I don't like the mental gymnastics you're playing with me. You know, he's a hero. I have a tattoo of a rant he went on my thigh. Yeah.
He sex trafficked a 15-year-old and a 17-year-old.
You know,
I worked on the case.
we all have skeletons in our closet.
Oh my God, are you?
We all have skeletons. He's a hero of mine.
Can I have 2 more gay jokes?
First Amendment. I'll give you 2 more gay jokes. That sounds fair.
Okay. So who's the top? Yeah, no, that's
Obviously me.
Oh, hey,
It's me.
we're supposed to switch off.
Oh yeah, they're nice. You want to feel?
That's actually better for when he's on bottom. And I'm in missionary. I like to look at those things.
It's nice. The upward angle, it's real nice.
Can I get you guys a photo?
Yeah. Yeah, once again.
Wait, let me get the abs out.
Wait, you didn't take it?
So it's pretty clear these girls don't know we're f***ing around, which is strange. I mean, we're talking about having sex with each other. We're dressed up like airsoft commandos. I said I had an Andrew Tate rant tattooed on my leg. I want to be more balanced in making fun of both sides in these videos, but it's a little tough because, you know, one side does struggle with identifying satire. You saw that first cop knew right away we were taking the piss out of ICE, and he thought we were undercover protesters. So, we're trying, guys, but it's not easy to be balanced.
We weren't ready.
Yeah, one more time.
That's not fair.
That's probably what all the women say too, huh?
No, they're ready to go. They're so wet, dude. We have to carry around towels because women are so wet around us.
They're ready by proximity. Right now, you guys might need to go home and change panties.
Yeah, it's okay.
If you're wearing any.
I have some towelettes if you need it.
I'm not into these guys that like touching kids.
There's actually a monsoon in the Sahara right now. I don't know if you've been reading the LA Times.
Yeah.
It's wet out there.
It's real wet.
And even if it's not wet, there's always an oasis or a cactus. You can always find water.
I think he's for ice, though.
This should be our theme song.
Yeah, ice.
White boys and ice. White boys and ice. Hey, we're gonna go over their head. We're gonna talk to the big boss. We're gonna tweet at Andrew Tate, and he's gonna make a stink. He's gonna get us in.
Yeah, when you cut it up, it's gonna be hilarious.
Oh yeah. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Hey, wait. Hey, what's up? What's going on? Can we hop in?
You sure can.
All right, Tahita in the back. Yeah, we're all into Tesla.
Hop on in.
Papa Elon got us a personal Uber. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I just came to drive by for Charlie.
Oh yeah, we're gonna go pay our respects over at Utah Valley after this. Well, you were a lovely person. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You got the gig, buddy. You got the gig, buddy.
You got the gig. It's got that height. You can see over the border wall.
Oh yeah.
Don't like the cut. Don't think the cut's gonna fly.
No.
Listen, kid.
You're the best, Danny.
Hey, what's up, man? This kid's gonna get the job. I was worried this was gonna be a little bit too, you know, A little too much, I like to party. A little too much, I like to cruise by BYU scamming on the volleyball chicks, but you know.
We're okay with that though.
We're okay with it, we can relate.
So here, we're still trying to show some people our video resume, but don't worry, you guys aren't gonna have to see it again. The reason we even let this footage in is because of the confrontation it leads to.
You pencil pushers think you're man enough to see our video resume or what? That's why your medium is dying out. You don't have a courageous bone in your bodies. If you had any sense, you'd put one of those boom mics in our face. That's right. Go interview some vanilla candidate.
Yeah.
Yeah, we applied. We got the job. I got a handshake deal from a guy in a cowboy hat with a star.
They told us we didn't even need to apply.
See, that's the thing. You're crooked media. That's the problem with this country right there. You're telling these people we're not.
I'm interested in the people really applying.
Oh, we really applying, son. This guy's fake news. Don't talk to him. You're an honest ICE recruit. You're a good guy. This guy's out of his mind. He's going to go back to his liberal rag and he's going to tell all sorts of lies about you. He's going to say you groped her, and you were smoking this and snorting that. That's what that guy does. I've seen his work. It's real dishonest. It's real dishonest journalism. Freaking commies.
Liberals.
Hey, fellow recruits! Hell yeah! Give the Hun hell! That's what I'm talking about. Those are some good-looking guys. We got our friend Bluetooth.
Looks like you caught us on a typical day. We're just passing out self-deportation literature here in Los Angeles.
The kid in the fedora seems kind of amused here. The guy to his right in the tank top, not so much. And his face is blurred along with one other because this section gets very, very dark. And some of it, upon reviewing the tape, definitely was my fault.
No need to Vegas, though. It's part of our work with Special Patrol for Illegal Criminals. But we're done with amateur shit. We're ready to join ICE.
So this guy's screaming F ICE, and he's about to watch the polygraph scene where I'm talking about how big my dick is, and he still doesn't get that it's a joke.
Do you have a large penis? Yes. Have you slept with hundreds of women? Yes.
Yeah.
Is Vin Diesel a bitch, and can you knock him out with one hit?
Dude, it's on polygraph. I got the results, bro.
Yes, to which one?
Don't push me on the polygraph.
Yes! We've been training. Special Patrol for Illegal Criminals cruises Los Angeles.
I've been playing video games in your mom's basement after she sucks my dick. She found it. She needed a magnifying glass, but she got the job done.
All right, I have to admit this. Him saying, you play video games in your mother's basement, and me saying, I play video games in your mother's basement after she sucks my dick, that was too far, and this guy didn't deserve that. I do seriously believe that was a protest comedy foul, because I don't like to escalate things beyond the level that they're at. And he wasn't getting personal yet. So you can say that some of the fouler things that he said later on, I don't fully blame him because I started it.
So in conclusion, we're with ICE.
You guys are gay lovers.
Well, your mom blew me, so again, you're gonna have to refer to the polygraph and her own recollection.
She couldn't get you hard because, you know, you're a liberal.
Come on, dude. You don't think I got the plug on Blue Chews? I'm Gen Z, my man. I got all that. I can get this little wee-wee up to 3, maybe 3.5 inches with one of those.
Go back to playing video games in your mom's basement.
Again, it's your mother's basement. We're going in circles here. Yeah. Okay? It's a circular.
Charlie's dead.
Nice, dude. Real nice. There we go. I mean, I did tell you your mom sucked my dick, but still, that seems like a low blow in comparison.
All right, he's hyped on Charlie Kirk dying. Real quick aside, the tank top he has on has to be the worst political merchandise I have ever seen. There's no wordplay, there's no poetry, there's no logic. It's like something a Bangladeshi entrepreneur would make on Fiverr, and then he'd use Google ads to target dumb, guilty women in California to maybe unload like 20 units. But it's anti-January 6th, and the reason you're anti-J6th is usually because you're pro-democracy and anti-violence. which is the exact opposite of what the Charlie Kirk assassination was. But again, I did cross the line. I said his mom blew me. So I understand maybe he was just going for the throat and he was just trying to hurt me, a guy he perceived as like a pro-ICE Nazi.
It's funny that you're using gay as a slur earlier too, but you, yeah, you're on the left though, right?
You're confused in your ideology. It's okay, dude. Yeah.
You're a Gen Zer. You don't have anything to live for. You should just kill yourself.
He thinks you're Gen Z, bro.
Also, as a YouTuber who covers political stuff, I did feel a kinship with Charlie, so the guy succeeded in pissing me off. And that explains why soon here, you're gonna see I keep pushing things really far. And in my opinion, I'm too personal, I'm too worked up to really be funny. And I know I sound like I'm kind of being a little bitch here, but we are the guys going in and stirring up the protest, so it's sort of on us to not be douchebags.
I faced his mom.
Oh.
That's just a fact.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
I didn't deem you as straight.
Oh, I know. He didn't either. But I had to clear the air by saying that I did indeed face his mother.
Yeah, he's totally.
You guys really hate gays, dude. It's weird. Why do you guys hate gays so much?
You're the bitch, and we're your pimp. And get out and make us some money, bitch. Get out and make us some money.
How can you be over 40 wearing jorts?
Yeah, there we go. Clearly, you're the bitch.
Why you can't be wearing jorts, bro? These are my cheetah pants,
It's
man.
a cheetah pants, man. He's got to be fast.
Fast, dude.
Not that he needs it against you. To chase you down and get the 5 that some John paid you, I mean, he's not going to have to break 7 miles per hour, you slow f***.
So behind me, with crossed arms, a new character enters the fray.
That's great, dude. But you hate gays more than he did. It's weird.
You said that Charlie's dead, but you're going to be dead in less than 10 years because your body's a physical mess, dude. You're going to have heart disease.
Streets.
You're on the streets right now.
I am on the streets right
Why
now.
you're shaking? Why are you so mad?
I ain't shaking.
You're shaking,
They're the ones, they're ripping gay slurs, bro.
You're confronting somebody who's new to
yourself.
Oh, good one. You got me. Good one, dude.
Yeah.
Good one.
I don't have to get you.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you want to see me on the streets and you don't have any weapons on you, I'm standing right here.
This guy just made a death threat.
Go f yourself. You gonna say it again? Go f yourself. Hey, let's hear it again. Let's hear it again.
Very bright.
Go suck Charlie's dick.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Real, again.
Again, this is an anti-gay thing. You guys were so against his anti-gay speech, but like you're doing anti-gay speech right now. That was anti-gay, dude. You're f***ing gay, dude. Suck my dick. I would love it, dude.
All you've got is saying go f yourself and making fun of a dead guy. Again, dude, you're a piece of shit, dude. You're a complete piece of shit.
I'm not a fucking Nazi.
I'm not a fucking Nazi either. You don't know why we're here, dude. You don't know who we are or why we're here.
We were gonna try and go and apply for the job.
Yeah, you should have seen our video. It was a really serious application. Real
serious, guys.
Kill me if you want to kill me, like you just told me.
Mullets went out in the 80s.
You are fat. So being fat went out since like the Greek times, dude. Being fat went out in the classical period. You're lost, man.
Yeah, you're fucking lost.
Good, again, good comeback. Again, your logic is just fucking.
Stop, Bo. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, are you gonna kick us out?
No, I'm gonna kick you out.
Then why do we have to leave?
You don't have to leave.
Well, you said get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I'm suggesting it.
I appreciate that. You told me you were gonna kill me. How are you gonna put the camera on me now?
It's always the guys with the LG phones. The LG phones are always.
Listen, dude, you said you were gonna kill me. That's the only reason I'm coming at you with any kind of antagonism. I said that's the only reason I am. Now I'm trying to reconcile with you.
Reconcile? What do you want to fucking reconcile?
Well, you don't even know who we are or what we're doing here.
At the table with fucking Nazis?
I don't think you.
Get out of here.
Well, that's a little simple-minded to say we're Nazis.
No, it's fucking not.
We're guys in costumes, dude. We're comedians. We're fucking around.
Guys part Jewish.
We are.
Guys part Jewish.
Yeah,
don't.
Jewish.
All right, and gay.
Evil Russian, Sean,
You're gay and Jewish. You're gay and Jewish.
Yeah.
All right, good. Well, you.
Fucking Marxist.
Well, that's just poor economics right there. That's poor economics.
Immigrants. You know, we come
Okay,
to this
so am
country-
I, dude.
Yeah, well then you're fucking
Well,
class.
why are you talking about? Well, why are you talking about killing people,
Yeah,
dude?
putting a fucking spotlight on other immigrants so they don't look at you. You think they're not?
My soul is white. My soul is white. My soul is white.
We're not here to like join ICE. We're fucking joking around. But why you gotta threaten to kill us, dude? Like we don't need that, man. In defense of this guy's death threat, when he made the threat, I did just get done saying what kind of sounded like a death threat to the tank top guy. I said to the tank top guy, "You're gonna be dead in 10 years." And then this guy we're confronting right now, he already let his threat go right then, and it drowned out me saying to the tank top guy, "of heart disease."
Ready to lose the hat and regrow the hair? With sprays by Hims, you can regain your hair and
You're comedians? What's so f***ing funny about
Well,
joining ICE?
No, we're not joining ICE. We're not joining ICE. We're doing a bid out here, dude. You don't have to threaten to kill us, man. I don't want you dead. I don't want you hurt. Yeah. You shouldn't want anybody here dead, dude.
That kind of thinking will get you in trouble, man.
Nazis dead.
That's not. But who are you to say who's a Nazi, though?
You got to go back to the 40s, bro.
What do you mean?
Like, I mean,
Jesus,
just.
what the f*** do you think?
What if some guy just wants to feed his family?
Gestapo.
What if there's an MS-13 guy ripping chicks, dude, out here? You don't think we should send him back?
Arrest them too. Jesus.
That's what ICE does. That's what ICE does.
Police are for. ICE is not for that shit.
Dude, they're sending an MS-13 back, dude.
What if they're f***ing going into courthouses, arresting people, trying to get legal status the right way? They already have visas.
Well, let me say this, dude. We're from LA, and we totally disagree with the untargeted roundups. That's why we're here, dude. We don't like them going into like fields. We don't like them going to Home Depot. We don't like that shit either, dude. That shit's whack, bro. And like, we can agree on that. And
they don't need to be hiring all these people if they're not doing.
Well, we're not ICE. We're not. But I don't like that you threatened to kill me, man. That just upsets me that people can't have civil political discourse out here.
It's not civil when one side is arguing about the right of existence of another.
But then you could say that about anything. I mean, you could take that to tax policy and say that like.
Sure, let's take it to tax.
But that's just like, then we could take it to any element of politics. Sure. We could say like climate change is going to kill a bunch of people.
It is.
So if you drive an SUV, we should kill you. It just doesn't end, dude. It's not productive. Here, will you shake my hand, dude? I don't want you dead. I don't want you hurt. I think you probably have some good points. I don't like that. I don't want to leave here with us like beefing at each other and like wanting to be violent at each other.
I appreciate that.
I appreciate you, man.
It is Tuesday. I've got an exciting update at the end of this video, but we also have a lot to talk about today, starting with this. We've got to dig into this insane speech by Trump and Hegseth that really appears to have the military's top brass racked, because it is just weird and crazy and cringe moment after one another. And arguably more importantly, it signals what might happen to the country pretty soon. Because last week you had Defense or War Secretary Pete Hegseth ordering hundreds of the military's top commanders to Marine Corps base Quantico in Virginia for a speech today. The topic leading up, it was a mystery, which, really confused a lot of people because one, it's unclear why he just didn't do this virtually, which would have saved a lot of money and travel time, and two, the announcement came just kind of out of nowhere with little time to prepare. But with that, according to at least the Daily Mail, who said they spoke to 2 Pentagon staffers, it was because of Pete Hegseth's state of mind. And according to them, he's been, quote, crawling out of his skin in recent weeks out of fear that he'll be assassinated like Charlie Kirk. With them then reportedly adding that he's been erupting in tirades, raging at staffers, and obsessing about matters related to his security. One even reportedly saying there's a manic quality about him, or let me rephrase, an even more manic quality, which is really saying something. And you had both sources explaining that they felt an extra duty to temper his abrupt decisions, but that he, quote, takes things personally when challenged, like full-blown tantrums. But with whatever was happening behind the scenes, you had Hegseth summoning generals, admirals, officers, pretty much everyone above a certain rank for this meeting, which was already extremely unusual. Then things got even stranger once he opened his mouth.
To our enemies, F-A-F-O.
And for the two of you that don't know, that's fuck around and find out. And that bit, it pretty much kind of summed up the tone and the tenor of this event pretty nicely. Because you had Hegseth coming right out of the gate with some very aggressive rhetoric.
To ensure peace, we must prepare for war. From this moment forward, the only mission of the newly restored Department of War is this: warfighting. Preparing for war and preparing to win. Unrelenting and uncompromising in that pursuit. Not because we want war, no one here wants war, but it's because we love peace.
You had Hegseth saying that the United States is the most lethal and effective military power on Earth, but it finds itself in an increasingly dangerous world. And he called this a moment of urgency, saying that enemies gather, threats grow. And so in terms of concrete changes, he called for increased spending on pretty much everything. Troops, weapons, vehicles, AI, you name it. But then he also spent the vast majority of his speech arguing that about what the military really needs is the right people and the right culture. And to him, that means so-called de-wokifying the armed forces.
For too long, we've promoted too many uniformed leaders for the wrong reasons. Based on their race, based on gender quotas,
they're all pretty good.
Based on historic so-called firsts. We became the woke department.
With Hegseth clarifying that he doesn't want to kick all women out of the military, he just wants to hold everybody to high gender-neutral standards, and if a woman can meet that, great, but if not, too bad. And then he clarified again that the military doesn't actually need new standards, it just needs the hard-nosed culture to enforce existing ones. So this is, you have critics countering that there's no evidence that standards have been lowered for women or racial minorities, and if anything, the military has become more effective because it's become more diverse. But according to Hegseth's telling, the U.S. has lost war after war since 1945 because its military has become infected with social justice, politically correct, and toxic ideological garbage.
No more identity months, DEI offices, dudes in dresses. No more climate change worship. No more division, distraction, or gender delusions. No more debris. As I've said before, and will say again, we are done with that shit.
Right, and then his next target that he really harped on was big people.
Frankly, it's tiring to look out at combat formations, or really any formations, and see fat troops. Likewise, it's completely unacceptable to see fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon. This also means grooming standards. No more beards, long hair, superficial individual expression. We don't have a military full of Nordic pagans.
And so to professionalize the War Department, he announced directives mandating regular physical fitness tests and grooming standards for almost everybody, even if they're not in active combat roles. With Hegseth then calling this Liberation Day for the military, and he declared that leaders are now free to enforce rigorous standards, whether that means cursing at soldiers or even getting physical with them.
That's why today, at my direction, we're undertaking a full review of the department's definitions of so-called toxic leadership, bullying, and hazing, to empower leaders to enforce standards without fear of retribution or second guessing. We are overhauling an Inspector General process, the IG, that has been weaponized, putting complainers, ideologues, and poor performers in the driver's seat.
We are Any Promo, and we help companies and brands just like yours with promotional products and custom giveaways. We know how to help you stand out from the crowd. With the largest selection of promotional products, over 30,000 positive reviews, and rock-bottom prices, you can trust us with your next event. So if you're looking to grow your brand, make sales, say thank you, or celebrate an occasion,
we're doing the same with the equal opportunity and military equal opportunity policies, the EO and MEO at our department. No more frivolous complaints, no more anonymous complaints, no more repeat complainants, no more smearing reputations, no more endless waiting, no more legal limbo, no more sidetracking careers, no more walking on eggshells.
Right, and so you saw many hearing that and saying that it sounds like he's essentially giving officers a blank check to abuse their subordinates. Right, and that is the Pentagon has long struggled to root out a well-documented culture of racism, sexual assault, and even rape. But with this, you had Hegseth promising that racism and sexual harassment, they're still illegal and will be ruthlessly enforced, with him adding,
but telling someone to shave or get a haircut or to get in shape or to fix their uniform or to show up on time or to work hard, that's exactly the kind of discrimination we want.
You also had Hegseth declaring that soldiers are now free to fight the way they need to without bureaucrats.
I can't believe I'm not getting more stacks.
No more politically
So
correct and overbearing rules of engagement. Just common sense, maximum lethality, and authority for warfighters.
And again, you had people seeing that as him essentially giving soldiers a blank check to commit war crimes with impunity. But then finally, he claimed to know that the overwhelming majority of people in that room agree with everything that he's saying and invited anyone who doesn't to resign. So, and also on that note, he's already promised to fire 20% of the military's roughly 800 generals and admirals. And so understandably, many of those in the room were reportedly afraid that he'd fire them right there, though Hegseth, he didn't end up doing that. And what he ended up saying was that throughout the entire speech, the crowd remained almost totally silent and stone-faced, right, upholding their commitment to be apolitical even in the face of such hyper-partisan comments. That said, but behind the scenes, some people were a little more vocal. There were reportedly 8 current and former officials telling the Washington Post that multiple top officers, including Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff General Dan Kane, are privately critical of the new direction that Hegseth's taking the military. Or with them reportedly taking issue with the new national defense strategy, especially with how it reorients focus away from foreign threats and toward domestic ones, as well as all the partisan language in the document, including direct mentions of Joe Biden. And you had several sources adding that dissent during the drafting process is normal, but the number of officials concerned and the depth of their criticism, it's unusual. Right? And so that was Hegseth, and then you had Trump's, which was, it felt definitely low energy for him, though it was still rambly, but it also had some standout moments. So as far as the ramble and the scope, I mean, he was talking about naming the Department of War, naming the Gulf of America, supposedly ending all the wars in the world, signing generals and admirals commissions himself instead of an auto pen, not getting the Nobel Peace Prize, his tariffs, how he won the election, and how he's mistreated by the press. Also, the man fucking loves paper, apparently. But easily, the most explosive remarks came when he explained how the military would become America first.
Only in recent decades did politicians somehow come to believe that our job is to police the far reaches of Kenya and Somalia, while America is under invasion from within. We're under invasion from within. No different than a foreign enemy, but more difficult in many ways because they don't wear uniforms.
With Trump then making it very clear who the culprit for that invasion is, the radical left Democrats.
What they've done to San Francisco, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, they're very unsafe places, and we're going to straighten them out one by one. And this is going to be a major part for some of the people in this room. That's a war, too. It's a war from within. And I told Pete, we should use some of these dangerous cities as training grounds for our military, National Guard, but military. Because we're going into Chicago very soon. That's a big city.
Where with Trump claiming that everybody in those cities, they love the military being there, and when they don't, it's because they were paid off by George Soros and others. And so, with this, well, of course, I'd love to know your thoughts, opinions, reactions. This isn't just a news show, it's a conversation. So quickly, just add my opinion here. This felt deranged. I know a lot of what he said are things that he's said before or kind of close to, but in this specific setting with the audience that he had, this felt like a very different thing. It really seemed like he was declaring war on American cities. It really seemed like there is a plan to weed out everyone except the loyalists. And unfortunately, I think we're gonna have to wait to see in the coming days, weeks, months, and years is how much of this is a kind of chest puffing LARP, and how much of this is a successful crackdown that I think many would call authoritarian in nature. Also, sad news that Hegseth said that Trump can't be a general. And then there's even more we're gonna dive into in just a minute, but first let me say, have you ever walked out of a meeting thinking, cool, I just survived, but what did we actually decide? Because that is where today's sponsor, Plot AI, saves your butt. It's basically the world's smartest meeting secretary, slim enough to hide in your wallet. Because your phone, it wasn't built for this. It dies, it gets notifications mid-call, and it definitely can't pick up 8 people talking over each other. But Plot can. 4 studio-grade mics, noise canceling, up to 16 feet of clean audio pickup, and it runs 30 to 50 hours straight. Meanwhile, your phone's begging for a charger after one Zoom. And unlike your notes app graveyard full of half-thoughts, Plot actually gives you something useful. Like transcripts with speaker labels, highlights, to-dos, and insights you can share with your team. Maybe you forgot what your boss promised in last week's meeting? Ask Plot and boom, it pulls it up. Maybe you need to draft a follow-up email. Want to brainstorm ideas without bugging your team? Ask Plot. Privacy is also covered too, right? This isn't Big Brother, right? End-to-end encryption plus all this. I mean, translation, your data is yours. Plus, it looks so slick. I mean, people think that it's a luxury card. Meanwhile, it feels like I just bought myself extra IQ points, especially because I feel like I'm great at so many things, but my mind, it gets so scattered, especially once I'm juggling too many things. So hey, hit that link in the description or scan the QR code and use code DeFranco for 20% off with your selected products for Prime Day special. But the next up in the news today, it actually starts with a question, and that is, with how crazy things feel in America right now, are you afraid to go to large events in public? And connected to that question, we've seen political creators here and there canceling things individually, as well as big creators like Hassan Piker, Valkyrie, Cutie Cinderella, and others announcing that they're going to be skipping TwitchCon later this month over safety concerns. And the latest person to drop out was Hassan, who during a stream announced that he wasn't going to go to the event, and he fleshed out his reasoning.
I miss the social Hassan era. There is unfortunately an obvious setback there because of, 1, all the political incidents that have taken place, and 2, how those political incidents have had some pretty significant consequences in how much I can go out in the real world and socialize with other people. As I said already, I'm not going to TwitchCon, not because I'm worried about my own safety, but I'm literally not going to TwitchCon because I'm worried about the safety of others. I don't want to put them in the fucking crosshairs if some psycho freak decides, like, I'm going to go there. I'm very publicly not going to TwitchCon for that reason.
Right, and that decision, it came after Valkyrie and Cutie Cinderella made it very clear over the last 2 weeks that they would also not be attending the event. But their initial thoughts popping up on their podcast whine about it.
Can I say something? Yes. I've been so anxious and scared and sad this whole past week with everything that's been going on for a multitude of reasons that I told Cutie, I was like, I'm kind of afraid to go to TwitchCon.
Yeah. This isn't just a wallet, it's a rare find. There's something different about owning something almost nobody else has. That's why when Ridge dropped their limited kintsugi collection, I had to grab one. Inspired by the Japanese art of turning imperfections into golden masterpieces, each Ridge kintsugi wallet has a completely unique golden etched pattern, literally one of only 8 exclusive designs.
We're in a bit of a conundrum with TwitchCon. We may... Listen, it's not... I have...
It's not you, it's us.
It's not you, it's us. I have told, because we're supposed to do Wine About It Live at TwitchCon. Love Twitch for supporting our show. I have given them a soft, hey, we're in a bit of a panic mode right now.
Will we ever stop panicking?
That's the problem. I don't know if we're being because I don't feel, the problem is right now, respectfully, I don't feel irrational about it. I feel very...
I think it's valid.
Scared.
Yeah, it just takes one person.
Yeah.
To, you know...
And then they go on to mention Ari Sato, who was a Japanese live streamer that was stabbed to death in the middle of a stream by someone local media called an anti-fan. So with things like that, as well as the killing of Charlie Kirk and politicians, it's obviously been at the front of a lot of people's minds, which led to Valkyrie saying last week,
I'm just really uncomfortable with the world right now. Just so you guys know, Cutie and I are not going to TwitchCon anymore. We did back out. America is in a weird spot. Weird things are happening, and it's just, I don't feel safe. I open up, see the news, and then I'm like, holy moly, what is happening?
And in general, there was a sentiment that there's a big overlap of people who hate watch streamers and those who are extremely politically active on platforms like Twitter. And here's how Pokemon put it last week.
Here's the way I view it, especially with all the recent news surrounding Charlie Kirk. And of course, a lot of political talk happens on Twitter. And also for us, people like me, Ray, Cutie, other female streamers.
What do you do for a living?
I sell people Pokemon cards.
You sell people Pokemon cards? What do you, that's your whole job? You scour the earth for rare cards and sell them?
People come to me, they sell me the cards, and I
What's
sell them to people.
You wake up and what do you do? Check eBay for cards?
No, I go to work.
You go to work?
I do it at a store.
Oh, at a store. Oh, so this, you're not, wait, this is, you don't even have like autonomy at this thing? You have a boss. Your job is you sell Pokemon cards, and you have to report to someone? Because I'm thinking, all right, well, that's stupid, but, you know, he makes his own hours, he's independent. So you work at a very specific pawn shop, is what you mean. You don't, like, find them out, people bring them in? That's awesome. So some guys walk in and they're like, hey, the one woman who fucked me divorced me, and to make alimony, I'm gonna have to sell the cards that drove us apart ultimately, so. Who's selling cards? It's divorced guys, it's like,
Adult children.
Adult children, yeah. And then who buys them? The same guys, right? The same guys, just on the opposite end of luck. You're constantly just shifting cards back and forth between losers that... Like a loser that wins a scratch-off buys a Charizard or something like that, or... Interesting, damn. And do you think there's advancement at the Yu-Gi-Oh card shop, or...
Not that much.
Not that much, but it gives you time to get fucking swole. Because you are, listen, dude, I know you dodged my initial questions about how big your arms are and stuff. You threw me a very juicy tidbit about the Pokemon store. And I'll give you credit, that is pretty hilarious that exists as a store. That enough people in this city don't fuck for that to be a business. Like a brick and mortar? Are you kidding? It's one thing if it was a fucking online store, but this guy pays rent. There's heating bills that go into the Pokemon card store in 2022. Damn. I'm gonna get you started working here in like college, right?
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 29.
29, okay, nice. All right, well look, man, I don't know how much longer you can work at the Pokemon card store. It's fine, you're a youthful guy, you're jacked. That is funny to be like you're like a strong nerd, that's the kind of guy you are?
Here's the secret.
Huh?
It's just fat.
It's not just fat, bro, I'm fat as well. My arms don't look like that, relax. If I cross my arms, not. Because you know why it's not fat, you motherfucker? Because you got real short sleeves on, bitch, all right? You know what the fuck you're doing. So don't even fucking sit here and tell me you're not proud of your arms when you got them fucking shining for everybody to see. So what is it? You really don't want me to get to the heart of what's going on with you. I can tell that. You're very good at fucking deflecting, but there is something in the core of you that is driving you crazy, and I can feel it. There's one central issue in your life, and you don't want to say it in front of 375 strangers, and I get that. Disapproving father? No, okay, thank you.
It's the mother.
It's mom. All right. Okay.
I dropped out of school.
Huh?
I dropped out
That's why. Oh, you dropped out of school. How's it going? We're going into this guy's life real fast. Nice. Wow. Over there, you couldn't have. There was just such a better way to do that than how you did it. Why here? What the fuck? All right, whatever. Anybody here bought a Pokemon card recently from a store in Toronto? Nice. Was there a jacked guy selling it to you? It was at a convention. Okay, he at least gets paid. You're doing that. You're doing that for fun? Yeah. You're a nerd. That's all right. What's your prized piece in the collection?
I have a $300 Lego figure.
You stole it. Okay, from a child. Who did you steal it from? The store?
One of my old friends.
Your old friends? Oh, Jesus Christ. Is that the reason? Did he? This man went crazy. Damn. Why did you guys grow apart? His Legos kept going missing? Was he a good guy? Why did you why did you steal from him?
I wanted it.
You wanted it? You must have had bad parents too. You don't even know basic morality. Is this your dad for real? Come on, man, what the fuck? Was he a bad kid?
Yeah, he had some issues.
He had some issues? That's awesome. You're like, buddy, listen, the Deadpool figurine's the least of our problems.
I like the Mario version of the other lady's Wario, you know? Yeah. Big Wario fan back here? Oh, Mario. Okay, nice. There you go. Congrats, guys. That's awesome. What do we got? Mario, Luigi, and Princess Peach? Okay, nice. No, who's the other princess? Just no Daisy, huh? Huh? Luigi's the third. That's so sad, dude. Yeah. That's one of the worst third wheel. It's so clear who's not getting pussy because it's Luigi. There's no mystique as to, maybe, no, that's like, if you were all like fucking bumblebees or something, no one would know who, but it's like, no, I'm very clear, I'm letting you know I'm the one who doesn't fuck. One time at a Halloween party, I saw Luigi by himself, and that was one of the most fucked up things I've ever seen in my life. That's how low your self-esteem is? You dress as the secondary guy, solo? Damn, dude, shit going all right, Luigi? What's going on, bro? Is life okay? No, things are bad. Do you hang out with this couple too much? Are you always, yeah, you gotta break free of that, dude, you know what I mean? Forever the third wheel, okay. How long have you guys been friends, Mario and Luigi? 10 years, okay. And how long have you guys been dating? 3 years, okay. So you guys are really in this dynamic big time right now. This is something that happens over and over again. Have you guys ever had another group Halloween costume? Have you ever done like The Simpsons and You're Flanders or something like that? Huh? Anything like that? No? First one? Okay. First one, probably last one you'll do like this? Yeah. That's good, man. Have you been in any relationships in this since they've been dating? Has it been any double dates or just third wheeling? No, not a single one in 3 years. God damn. Peach, what's going on? We don't have a fucking friend with low self-esteem we can throw this guy's way? You're kind of fucking the money up a little bit. He's committed. He's clearly a good friend. He's ridiculing himself, dressing up in which was clearly your idea. There's no way these two thought of this. You're using him as a prop for your costume. He's essentially a walking prop. I bet you if you could find a Yoshi costume to cover his face, you would have. But you're like, this'll do. This is good enough. No friends? What the fuck? No friends for Luigi?
Should we use an HMO or a POS or
PPO?
maybe add an FSA?
Or HRA.
We can add an HSA.
Go ahead.
I think we should try PHP.
When it comes to health coverage, there's only...
Right. But you see how maybe, It's good. It was coming from the right place, but, you know, I just kind of did break down the flaw in that thinking for the last 5 minutes. If you don't want him left out, I'm saying, do you have any friends he can fuck? Do you know what I mean? That's, if you really want to be a good pal, not matching costumes aren't exactly what would help him out. I think letting this man get sucked off and dressing in a regular t-shirt and jeans would probably be a lot better for him. Just a button down and some head gotten recently was so much better than a costume, but anyway, enjoy the rest of the show, guys. I'm sorry to break. I'm on your team, pal. Don't worry. I'm not. I know it came off as ridiculing you, and I was to some extent, but I am at least rooting for you, you know? What were you up to today, buddy?
Coming to see you, that's it.
Come to see me, that's it? Fucking day started at 9 p.m.? You didn't do anything else? No other activities? Really? So you set an alarm for 8:30 p.m. today? You went to bed at midnight last night, and you're like, I'm gonna get a nice 16 hours, so I'm well rested for the show. You did something. Did you have a meal? Let's start there. Huh?
Pizza.
You had pizza. There we go. What happened before the pizza?
I did acid last night.
You did acid last night. Oh, okay. So, hell yeah, that's awesome. So you crashed today, is what you're saying?
Yes.
How was the trip, man? This is great. How lucky to pick you. That's awesome. Where did you do acid?
My home.
Your home? What the fuck? It's not the lockdown anymore, motherfucker. You could have gone outside. What, do you have a nice house? You don't seem like it. Do you have 2 bathrooms? How many? You have 1.5? You did acid in a 1.5 bath? Dude, come on, dude. Do you have an outdoor space?
My water's off right now.
Your water's off. Okay, interesting.
I don't think that would help the
You can't afford to pay
experience.
the water payments? What's going on?
Pipes
Huh?
first.
Huh?
Pipes first.
Pipes burst. Oh, I got you. And you were like, to celebrate, I'm gonna do acid. I'm gonna lock myself in my home with no plumbing. And I'm gonna do psychedelic drugs and see where I end up shitting. That'll be interesting. Did you do it by yourself? No. Who was with you?
My wife.
Your wife. Did you watch something? No. You did?
YouTube shit.
You did acid on YouTube in your home? How old are you?
36.
36, dude? Come on.
Based.
Oh man, that sucks, dude. You gotta. That's like sick when you're 14. What you just described was like, it's like the cool. You know what I mean? When you're 14, you do an acid in your friend's basement. You're like, dude, fuck it, let's watch dude. Then when you still think it's cool that like Dark Side of the Moon lines up with Wizard of Oz. You know what I mean? Like that's. Bro, I heard 9/11 might not be what we think it is. That's. When you're 14 and you think you just discovered 9/11, Bush doing 9/11, that's what you're doing as a 36-year-old man. Damn, all right. So shit's going bad for you in life, it sounds like. How long do you think until the pipes are fixed?
Week and a half.
Huh? Week and a half? Damn, you can't put a rush order on that? Where are you shitting? Huh? You just got a bathroom that's just a fucking designated war zone right now? Are you pouring buckets? Are you flushing with buckets? Something like that? Are you lying to me? This can't be a lie. It's not like you know what I mean? It's too weird and specific to be a lie. You know what I mean? Huh?
Do I have to get into it?
I mean, just a little more clarity would help, but yeah. You turn the pipes on just enough to flush. All right, I got you. All right, nice. What do you do for a living?
Pipe fitter.
You're a pipe fitter? No! Get the fuck out of here! Your wife's like, no, your wife's like, yeah, I mean, yeah, we could do acid, or I don't know, maybe you could find some I don't know, maybe you could check out the pipes? Oh no, you're right. Let's do acid and watch InfoWars. That's better. Your wife just re-downloading Tinder as you're talking to her. Yeah, this is a great idea. Week and a half, no problem. You're not a pipe fitter, are you? You are. Damn. And your wife is definitely not here, right?
No. I wonder where she's at. Hanging out with her friend from work with a working shower. That's where she's at. What's going on? Are you dealing with any adversity? Have you dealt with any tragedies in your life recently? Why are you getting fat? Straight white male? All right, relax, fucking Jordan Peterson. You fucking dumb bitch.
This is Grammarly's AI writing app. Your writing from start to finish, all in one place.
The Office premiered in 2005 to mixed reviews from an underwhelming number of viewers. Shrinking in the shadow of its acclaimed British counterpart, the show narrowly avoided cancellation after just 6 episodes. About 15 years later, it would go on to become arguably the most popular sitcom of all time. The legacy left behind by The Office is truly inescapable. You'll find GIFs and references from the show in just about every corner of the internet. And that's just for the general public. For the actors that were in this show, forget about it. These people are going to get called by their characters' names for the rest of their lives. Imagine going on a podcast to talk about a TV show you were on 20 years ago, and all of the top comments are like, man, it's so weird to hear Kevin talking normal. Why is he doing that? Make him stop.
I want to kill Kevin Malone.
I guess the thing that happens when you cast as wide of a net as The Office has managed to is that you're gonna pick up a lot of different kinds of people. And I think nowhere has that been more apparent than in the reactions to the new Office sequel series, The Paper. I want you to think of any opinion that someone could have about anything. And I promise you, there is someone out there who has that opinion about this show. There are people who think it's too much like the original. There are people who think it's not similar enough. I've seen people call it a lazy cash grab, and other people say it's the best show they've seen in years. Some people are already asking for fan fiction, and other people are complaining about DEI. Surprise, surprise, another show with women in it. Yeah, I'm out. Wake me up when they make something that's just a bunch of dudes. Young, hot dudes with their shirts off. This person is mad that their husband doesn't kiss them like the guy on the show. This person asked and then answered their own question, and all they had to do was look at the video they were responding to. And this person called Peacock Poopcock. And that's just not nice at all. But the most prevalent opinion I've seen about the show, almost everywhere it gets mentioned, is that it will never be as good as the original and that Hollywood has no new ideas. Now, while I agree that this show probably won't be as good as The Office was, and I am also fairly tired of sequels and spin-offs in lieu of fresh new ideas, the show you're talking about literally was a reboot. The pilot episode of The American Office was a near word-for-word recreation of a show that already existed. Yeah, reboots can be kind of annoying, but this is not the time to make that argument. Also, I think we're revising history a little bit here. Season 1 of The Office was not that good. Season 1 of Parks and Rec was even worse. It took a while for those shows to figure out how to best utilize all the characters and even just find the overall tone. In the case of Parks and Rec, that show really didn't hit its stride until season 3 when they hired Adam Scott and Rob Lowe to replace this guy whose name I could not tell you if my life depended on it. I guess what bothers me about this is that a lot of the people who complain that nothing new gets made anymore also won't give new things a chance because they're not immediately better than the thing they already like. I think an important distinction to make about The Paper is that it's not trying to be The Office 2. Yes, it's made by one of the original creators, it's written and directed in the same style, it takes place just a few towns over from Scranton, and there is one single character from that show that is also in this one. But it's not a continuation of the same story or any of its characters. It's very much trying to be its own thing, and I think does so pretty successfully when they're not slamming you over the head with references to the old show.
It's giving me PTSD from an old boss.
I know who he's talking about.
Maybe too easy for you, Stanley.
I know who he's talking about.
Nobody wants this.
Every time one of these would happen, I would get unreasonably upset. Obviously, I get why they do these, and I do seem to be in the minority with this opinion, but it just feels so pandery. I also think when you lean too much into these references, you're shooting yourself in the foot, because the more these shows are connected, the more it invites comparison. And if people are constantly comparing the two shows, there's gonna be a clear winner. And that's kind of the double-edged sword of a show like The Paper. A lot of people are only going to watch it because it is tangentially connected to The Office, but then they're also going to spend the majority of its runtime comparing the two. And honestly, it's kind of impossible not to. Throughout the pilot, every time a character would come on screen, I would be like, okay, so that's the new Jim, that's the new Pam, and then that's sort of like Angela, and she's like Italian Michael, and that's the new Stanley?
Did anybody hear that?
Oh, sorry. My prejudice is showing. That's Black Creed. Mostly because I was so curious to see what this show was gonna be. I watched all 10 episodes of it, and I have pretty mixed feelings. Unfortunately, I'm blanking on what I was gonna say. Just watch this ad real quick while I try to remember.
Football season just started and it's already ruining my life. But basketball season is right around the corner, so maybe my other favorite team won't let me down. And that's why I'm excited to shout out the sponsor of today's video, SeatGeek. Every time I want to pull my hair out at an Orlando Magic game, SeatGeek is the first app I check. Why? Because it's the easiest way to find the best deal on tickets. Not only does every seat have its own value rating, but I love that it also shows you what your view is going to be, so you don't accidentally buy a seat that's like behind a statue or facing the wrong way. I've gone to a ton of games over the years using SeatGeek, but it's not just for sports. The app has more than 70,000 events, including concerts, comedy shows, music festivals, and more. What do I mean by more? You're gonna have to download the app to find out. With over 35 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. So if you and 14 of your closest friends want to go see Benson Boone do 100 backflips, click the link in the description and use my promo code DREW10 for 10% off your SeatGeek ticket. That's 10% off your tickets with promo code DREW10. Thank you to SeatGeek for sponsoring today's video, and I'll see you guys at the game. Touchdown! Oh, yeah. So there were parts of The Paper that I legitimately laughed out loud at, followed by lines that would make me want to set my TV on fire. The pilot specifically is kind of a mess. Structurally, it's just all over the place. So we open on the old office building and we hear from Bob Vance. And we like that because we remember him from the other show. And then we cut over to a different part of the building and we hear this person talk about Dunder Mifflin, which we remember from the other show. And then we cut to the new office, which for a minute I thought was in London because this guy's British, but it's actually in Toledo. And we learn that this place sells toilet paper and regular paper and newspapers. And then we hard cut to this old documentary about how the newspaper used to be good, and then we cut back to see that now it is bad. And then the theme song plays, and then we're introduced to a second boss, and then she introduces us to everyone else, including Oscar, who we remember from the other show. And then we meet the main character, who is coming in to be the third boss, and this is just like the first 9 minutes. It's so disjointed that it almost made me think that the cold open, a scene that has zero actual connection to anything else in the show, is a Peacock mandated insert demanded by some executive who walked into the writer's room with a Google Gemini summary of the script and said, but how will people know that this is The Office if we don't show The Office? Now, if you guys need me for anything else, I will be on a spaceship with Katy Perry. I listened to an episode of the Office Ladies podcast about this pilot, and I felt like it was kind of telling that the very first nice thing they said about the show was just how long it was.
This episode is 33 minutes and 18 seconds. And how much fun is that?
It kind of felt like when someone shows you a movie that you know they love, but you weren't really into it, so you have to just think of anything positive at all to say about it. Yeah, dude, no, the aspect ratio is crazy.
It's called Eat House. Get it? Eat House? Yeah.
And, you know, hilarity ensues.
I also think it's funny just because the length is something I did not like about the pilot. I felt like it was way too long. This is a criticism I've had for years with other streaming shows where they leave too much in because there's no mandated length, but then the pacing feels off because of it. Like, one thing that's great about a lot of older network comedies is how they just fly through the episode. It's airtight. Because it had to be. And I think that if they had just cut out a couple of minutes of the weakest jokes in this pilot, it would have been received a lot better than it was. But instead, a lot of people just gave up on the show altogether. I probably would have too if I didn't force myself to be patient with it. Most shows aren't incredible right out of the gate, and pilots are difficult because there's a lot of things you have to get right. You have to establish the plot, introduce every one of its characters, tell a story that's somewhat wrapped up in one episode, but that provides enough intrigue moving forward so people want to keep watching, all while trying to be funny and interesting with dialogue that needs to exposit but cannot seem expository. It's rare for a series to nail all of that on its first attempt. So I didn't want to hold it against the show that the pilot is a little underwhelming, because at the very least, I do think they set up a really interesting premise, and that's probably the best thing the paper has going for it. A show about how a once great newspaper has been relegated to just being a clickbait factory whose only purpose is to generate whatever ad revenue it can for its parent company feels super relevant. By far the funniest parts of the pilot are the scenes that satirize the state of modern journalism. I love when Esmeralda proudly shows off her favorite article she's written, and it's just like the kind of thing you'd see at the bottom of a news page with some sensationalized title and a crappy AI thumbnail.
And then you keep learning about colors of cars. There are so many colors.
To me, this is what gives the paper a much stronger hook than it would if it was just another workplace comedy about a job that sucks. Because even though that premise worked great the first time they did it, if that's all this show was, it would feel completely pointless. This premise also gives you something to root for as you're watching it. There's a goal that everybody's working towards. The main guy, Ned, comes in with this Leslie Knope-style passion and determination to turn this company around. And if you can buy into it, his enthusiasm starts to feel infectious. But I think it definitely takes a few episodes to get to that point. And part of the reason is because early on, the vibe of the show is kind of atrocious. It feels like everybody's an antagonist. The other bosses are trying to sabotage Ned. None of the employees give a shit. Oscar's pissed off whenever he's on camera. The industry itself is antagonistic. Like, it's already such an uphill battle for them to try to turn around this struggling newspaper that to add in all these other elements on top of that make it incredibly frustrating to watch. It's almost the inverse problem the first season of The Office had. In that show, you had to watch a bunch of people deal with one shitty guy. But in this show, you have to watch one guy deal with a bunch of shitty people. And it makes you not really like any of the characters in a show that is only going to work if you like the character. But for the first couple episodes, it feels like everyone is just a slightly different flavor of stupid. This guy is stupid, but has kids. This guy is stupid, but old. This woman is stupid and loud. There would be funny moments, but it just felt like something was missing. Like there were some interesting ingredients in the pot, but it wasn't melding together into a good meal. In episode 2, I really liked the dynamic they were setting up with Adam and Adalola as a comedic duo when they go out and try and fail to do some investigative journalism. It had a real Parks and Rec vibe, you know? There were a couple lines I chuckled at.
I'm not buying any of this shit. You can answer questions here, you can answer them down at the station.
And it made sense that because they're so gullible, they would believe these teenagers who lie to them about the new craze that everyone is doing, and then they naively go write a story about it. It felt like everything was setting up for a really solid sitcom B-plot. But the specific lie they told them was that all the kids are acting like dogs. So then they start barking. And then later on, the episode ends with the two of them getting arrested for barking. And it just felt like there had to have been some other funny specific they could have put in. Like that was maybe the placeholder, and then they just never replaced it with a better idea. In episode 4, they established that one of their biggest competitors is a blog run by a local high school. And it's fun because even though there's this rivalry there, at the end of the day, it's just a random kid. As things go back and forth, you feel like it's all gonna lead up to something big and funny, and then all of a sudden the episode just kind of ends. They trick him into putting out a fake story to damage his credibility. They write their own article about it, and then Ned is like, maybe we shouldn't have done that. And then it's over. So like the climax of the episode is just a quiet reaction to something that happened off screen. The ending of every episode doesn't need to be some outlandish, over-the-top moment, but I feel like it should at least crescendo. You know, that's what you tend to expect out of a sitcom. That they're gonna set up 2 or 3 different storylines that'll each slowly build up until they all converge in a satisfying way. And almost every one of these early episodes just kind of fizzles out at the end. Like we're kind of getting close, but we're never all the way there. And that was...
It's not too late to outgrow the family hairline. Through Hims, you can break the cycle and get the thicker, fuller hair of your dreams. Genetics started it, but our range of personalized treatments can help you get ahead of it. Stop.
my biggest opinion about the show through the first 4 episodes. But then for whatever reason, suddenly in episode 5, everything kind of started to click for me. Maybe it was just more consistently good writing. Maybe it was that I had now had enough time to understand the characters. Maybe it was the Sawyer from Lost cameo. It was probably that. But if I had to narrow it down to just one thing, I think it would be that this is when the Esmeralda character finally makes sense. By far, the most polarizing thing about this show is Esmeralda. People hate her. A lot of viewers have said she's the reason they stopped watching the show altogether. They say she's annoying and too much and that she's trying too hard. And if anyone from Peacock is reading all of these comments, I am begging you to ignore them. They are wrong. She is hilarious. This show would be so fucking boring without her. She's kind of the only character with energy, and it's such a fun energy. Her performance feels completely unique. I feel like I've never seen this exact character on TV before, and I love it. Is she annoying sometimes? Absolutely. But she's supposed to be. That's kind of her role on the show, is to cause chaos that everybody else has to deal with. But it's not because she's just a terrible person, it's usually out of self-preservation. She feels threatened when Ned comes in and is potentially better at doing her job than she is, so she tries to make his life more difficult. And because her motives are always so transparent, I feel like you can empathize with her. Sometimes she does way too much because she's so desperate for approval. It's fun to watch someone who wears their emotions on their sleeve and is incapable of hiding how they feel. And I don't know if you noticed, but almost everything I just said is also how you could describe Michael Scott. I'm not saying that this performance is as good as Steve Carell was in the prime of his career, but I like that it's different enough to stand on its own. Michael Scott was lightning in a bottle, and the thing they say about lightning is you can't catch it twice. So I'm glad they didn't try to. That they didn't try to replace that character with someone doing a lot of the same things with the same look and the same mannerisms. Like Tim Key, also very funny in this. From the moment he steps on screen, it just kind of feels like he's doing a Ricky Gervais impression. He's doing a great job, but it certainly doesn't feel new. Whereas Sabrina Impacciatore feels very refreshing. And I'm just hoping the showrunners are aware of what they have in her and aren't going to lobotomize the show in an effort to appease a handful of angry reviews. It's more than a handful, but still. Overall, episode 5 is when this show really started to gel for me, and it only continued through the rest of the season. Each character started to become more defined and not just like interchangeable dumbasses.
I just can't have any more kids. 4 is just about manageable because you get 1 per hand per adult, but 5, I've been thinking like, how do you even do that? Do you use a foot? And then people think you're kicking them?
Once Ken and Esmeralda realize that their goals are aligned and they become more of a team, their dynamic gets so much funnier. Also, as a longtime fan of Eric Rahill, it's just really cool to see him get more opportunities, both as an actor and a writer. His character, Travis, is someone I'm intrigued by, but I still think has a lot of untapped potential. My favorite arc in the whole show starts in episode 7 when they introduce their new product, a flushable glove that you can use to wipe your ass, and ends in episode 8 when Esmeralda takes her son to audition for the commercial.
Do my rewrite. You know, I'm a journalist. I like writing, so.
I was born filthy in sin, so
Not that one.
It's baseball season, and the only stains my single mom should be getting out of my pants are grass stains.
This specific tone and style of comedy is something I missed from the Greg Daniels cinematic universe, and I'm happy to have it back. The second half of the season isn't just funnier than the first half. In a lot of ways, it kind of feels like a different show. It's significantly less pessimistic, so it's not as draining to watch. For me, it started to have that comfy sitcom feeling where it's like, is this the greatest show in the world? No, but if there were 80 more episodes of this, I would happily watch all of them over the course of a month. Unfortunately, though, right as things are all coming together for the paper, it ends with a finale that just felt so forced and rushed. Just a few hours of screen time ago, Ned came into an office with no journalists and no skills. The first paper they put out had the headline, "No news is good news," because everybody messed up so bad they couldn't even publish something in time. And then in the season finale, just 8 episodes later, the Toledo Truth Teller wins a bunch of awards. And also Ned and Mayor Professor love for each other and everything works out for everybody at the end. And I think this is where the show needs to decide what it wants to be. Do they want it to be about a bunch of incompetent morons failing to do their jobs in an entertaining way? Or do they want it to be a kind of feel-good story about the scrappy underdogs making a comeback? Because you can't really do both. You can't have 7 episodes dedicated to how stupid everybody is, and then 3 episodes later, they're winning journalism awards. It's not a satisfying ending if it doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm not saying you should have to drag everything out just for the sake of making it longer, but a feel-good story is really only gonna feel as good as the amount of time it took to get there. In Parks and Rec, Leslie wins the election for city council at the end of season 4, about 70 episodes into the show. In The Office, Jim and Pam had all this tension and chemistry through the first 2 seasons, but they didn't kiss for the first time until 30 episodes in. So when those things finally happened, it felt like a huge deal because we'd spent so much time building up to it. I understand from the showrunner's point of view, they were only given 10 episodes to work with, so they probably just wanted to give it a nice happy ending just in case Peacock didn't give them a season 2. But I really hope going forward they can get that number closer to 20 or 25 episodes to give everything a chance to breathe. They've already renewed it for a season 2, and they're planning to air the current episodes on NBC, so maybe it'll get more of the network sitcom treatment going forward, which would be good because I think that's how this show would best thrive. Like I said, the paper made me realize how much I missed being able to casually watch a new sitcom. The kinds of shows that you can watch a few episodes every night over the course of like 3 months and have it serve as this cozy distraction from whatever might be stressing you out in life. It's like the comfortability of a familiar set and a group of people you just get to spend a bunch of time with. Clearly people still yearn for this type of show, and there just aren't nearly as many of them made anymore. That energy is more often put into the high quality prestige dramedies, you know, shows that are funny sometimes but also stressful, and we can't put a bunch of episodes out because we're trying to win Emmys. There are a few network sitcoms that have received a decent sized audience. I just started watching Abbott Elementary and I like that so far. I've heard St. Dennis Medical is pretty funny, but every time I look at the title, my red dead ass wants to call it Saint Denis. And judging by the number of commercials I've seen for Ghosts every time I've tried to watch football the past 6 years, it seems like that one's doing pretty well too. But the most watched shows continue to be comedies that wrapped up over a decade ago. It's kind of funny that because of the way TV has evolved, the best case scenario for these sitcoms is that they garner just enough of an audience to keep making it. And then once all 7 seasons are done and it can be thrown onto Netflix 8 years later, that's when it becomes the most popular it's ever been by a mile. But I also wonder if it's only gonna get harder for sitcoms to even get to that point because of how different our approach to entertainment has become. Historically speaking, every sitcom needs some amount of time for the pieces to all come together. But the amount of time that people, myself included, are generally willing to give something is shorter than it's ever been. If you go on TikTok or Instagram somewhat regularly, you've probably gotten used to the feeling of, if this video does not interest me, within 1 second, I'm getting the hell out of here. Make me laugh right now or stop wasting my time. My precious time that I spend 9 hours a day of melting my brain with the flashlight I keep in my pocket. The Office was an incredible success story, but I have to wonder, if that first season came out today, would people be willing to give the same amount of time for the show to figure itself out? Or because of our increased impatience, would we be much quicker to just write it off? I don't know, because this is a hypothetical scenario I made up in my head. Anyway, I'm optimistic about the paper. I think they've planted a lot of interesting seeds, and I'm curious to see what it can grow into. And at the same time, I understand the frustration from people who don't even want to give it a chance, because it does seem like yet another reboot coming along to dangle something familiar in front of us so we stand and cheer. But as long as they continue to make the show its own thing and lean less into all the nostalgia bait, I think there's a lot of potential here. In the same way that Parks and Recreation was successful without ever needing to have its universe tie into The Office's, I think this show can succeed on its own the more it moves away from the original. But no matter what they do, they're gonna disappoint someone. If they keep Esmeralda around, some people are gonna stop watching. If they get rid of her, I'll stop watching. And for some people, it seems like they're only gonna keep watching just in case more Office characters pop in. What if Dwight had a son? And what if Jim had a son? And then they could be friends. And then we could just do the same exact show with the same exact
exact characters, but played by different actors. What is this, HBO's Harry Potter series? Move on! Nothing you ever watch is going to immediately be on par with the show you've watched 100 hours of. You gotta open your heart up first, brother. All I ask is that you try not to develop a strong opinion about something before you even give it a chance. Try to go into everything with a clean slate, and if you like it, awesome. If you don't, that's fine too, but at least you've figured that out on your own. Just don't let some stranger on the internet tell you how you should feel about something. Unless it's me, of course. You can trust me. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I know that a random-ass Peacock show is not exactly the most pressing thing going on in the world right now, but lately my brain has felt like mush, so for the time being, this is the best I can do. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see my next video, where I will be ranking every number in order of how big they are. Bye.
Oh, Cole's mom. I'm just not really ready to let go of summer dresses.
Okay, yes. A layer, a cute boot, 1 foot in the sand, 1 in the leaf pile.
Summer. Fall.
Yeah.
Fall.
Controversial influencer Andrew Tate will face...
Let's watch this video why Samsung, Google, and even Apple, possibly, are investing in folding smartphones.
When Samsung released its latest folding phone, the Galaxy...
This is part of my MKBHD pivot, okay? This is before I do my Google Pixel review on Wednesday.
Z Fold 7 in July, some said the era of the folding smartphone had arrived.
If you are in the market for a foldable, this is a really, really good buy.
You guys know I'm an Apple girly, but this phone is literally making me so excited.
Before he drives 90 in a school zone, I always thought MKBHD got too much shit for that because I do that every day and I don't even have a place to be. I do it just to keep it. I just zip through the school zones, dude. I rev up. I want to make it like, that's just LA. It's like the one area I can actually let the engine go because LA's got so much traffic. But school zones, it's pretty low traffic, so I can finally let the engine roar. Hand on the beer, hand on the phone. Phone in one hand, texting. Other hand, beer. Knees on the wheels.
To learn new things and go into a whole nother world. And honestly, Z Fold 7, you are perfect.
We just had our launch of our Galaxy Fold 7 and...
So, the reason I was kind of interested in this is because...
Perfect.
We just had...
I don't see the appeal really, but Ari has this phone and she really likes it. She has this phone right here. She looks like this woman. She's holding it up and smiling. She likes it. And I kind of haven't seen these foldables, but now I feel like I'm seeing them more. And I wanted to see if there was a reason.
Our launch of our Galaxy Fold 7 and Galaxy Flip 7, and the demand has been incredible. We broke pre-order records with our Fold device, for example, and I think it's really showing that consumers are gravitating towards that foldable form factor. We've built in more and more innovation to where these are now mainstream devices that consumers are opting for over traditional bar type.
What I'll say is, and this is what fucking Zoomers won't ever understand until these foldables come back, is that back in the fucking day, when you wanted to hang up on somebody, you could snap the phone shut and it was satisfying. It felt physical. It was a physical snap. And it was like, I'm ending this call. And it was fucking cool. It had aura. The phone was a I don't know, it was a physical device, it felt like a DS. And I think bringing that back is a big deal. Just the mere act of having it be closed and having to open it to access it is a point of friction that's also nice. It's not always open. It's not always on. Whipping it open one-handed was sick too. Oh my God, I forgot about that. Dude, getting a call and then whipping it open one-handed and holding it to your ear, that actually was sick. It's aura. Wait a minute, bring that back. You're like Jerry Maguire, dude.
Phones.
This next generation...
You can't really do that with these, though. You can't whip it open. You can slam it closed, but you can't whip it open. Yeah, I mean, someone also said this, but you could also take your phone back then when it was just like I'm thinking of like this. Possibly the peak of phone technology, by the way. And you could whip it open, hold it to your ear, slam it shut, and then if you didn't like what was said on the call, as I'm sure I didn't when I was getting calls at 15 years old or whatever, or 14, you could throw it. You could throw it all across the room. You could throw it anywhere. It doesn't get hurt. It doesn't break. You can toss that shit. It's not cold calling at 14. Yeah, exactly. You could type, ringtones. Well, ringtones are actually a sign of a portal to hell opening. Zoomers have it way better. Ringtones was an insane few-year period where the music industry convinced everyone to pay 50 cents for 8 seconds of a song. Sometimes $1. And you have to buy it, and you put it on your phone, and it was horrendous. It was a horrendous time period. And then every popular artist started making songs for ringtones, which they do now for TikTok, so it's not much better. But we had ringtone rap for like 4 years. Like, who was the king of that? Akon. Akon literally pivoted his entire business model into making ringtone rap. Let's watch the rest of this. Wait, let's see the rest of this video.
When you're watching the other football, but don't want to ask your friends, what's offsides? And how can I sound like I know a lot about the game? You can just ask Google all of that at once. Oh, so that's it.
Chevy makes America's most dependable trucks. Because in a Chevy truck, dependability comes standard. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Folding phones entered the market in 2018 with the release of the Royal Flex Pi, followed in 2019 by Samsung Galaxy Fold. Google followed with the Pixel Fold. Motorola revived the Razr. Chinese brands like Huawei and Xiaomi pushed designs to be thinner and lighter. Even Nokia has re-entered the flip phone space, adding modern features like apps. Now, Apple is reportedly expected to join the foldable race in 2026.
This is not a new idea that Apple might do it, but it seems like they're closer than ever to actually making it happen. The plan is for them to do this in fall of 2026 and have their answer to it.
But even with more brands in the game, foldables are still far from mainstream.
At the moment, there's very little reasons for most people to replace their phones.
The trifold?
So the reason to upgrade, it needs to be something that is really different from what we have today in our pockets. And that's where the foldables can become the proposition for end users to upgrade.
So why are tech companies doubling down, and why might Apple make its move now?
Apple always wait and sees.
In the early 2000s, flip phones were the phones to have. Then the BlackBerry arrived, and in 2007, the iPhone redefined the smartphone.
How are we going to take this to a mobile device? Well, what we're going to do is get rid of all these buttons and just make a giant screen. A giant screen.
That really was the modern take on the smartphones. You know, the full touch screen, no physical buttons or no physical keyboard. That really started.
He should have done this presentation more like Sam Altman or Elon Musk. He should have stared at the floor, gotten T-Rex arms, sounded weird and insecure, completely Rizless, stutter, and then have some engineers come out to talk like robots about bad graphs for 3 hours. This is a legendary keynote. Listen, Steve Jobs was not a good man to his daughter, but he could deliver a keynote. This is a legendary keynote. This is the one where he goes, we got 3 new products today. We got a internet communications device, a cell phone, and a brand new music player. Yeah, that's great. They're one product.
Giant screen.
That really was the modern take on the smartphones. You know, the full touch screen, no physical buttons or no physical keyboard. That really started in 2007. And it took several years for competitors to really catch up to what the iPhone was doing. Google, of course, put out Android a couple years later, but it wasn't until...
Oh, yeah, you guys trying to bring this one back? It's the ugliest fucking phone I've ever seen in my life. Trying to bring this one back? This shit is... Show up to the fucking function with one of these, baby. God damn. It's a beaut. The wrist on that thing. It looks like a TI-80.
to what the iPhone was doing. Google, of course, put out Android a couple years later, but it wasn't until 3 or 4 years after the original iPhone launch that you could kind of say Android and other devices were on par with what Apple was offering with the iPhone.
Fast forward to 2019, Samsung launched the first Galaxy Fold. It was a breakthrough, but durability was a problem.
It was not as durable as it is now from a screen perspective. The other one was the design of the actual at the crease of the hinge itself allowed for some debris and dust to go under the
Yeah, that's
screen,
what I heard.
which impacted.
I heard that the hinge broke easily or whatever. But maybe I was just thinking of the Nintendo DS. The DS hinge broke like fucking crazy.
Durability, but you know, as a first of its kind, I think is one of those things that it's just teething problems.
Early on with any new innovation, there's naturally trade-offs where
It did, mine never did. Well, did you throw yours at the wall when you lost Pokemon online matches? Or were you normal? Because my shit broke regularly. I can still remember specifically. I remember sitting on the floor of my dad's office, home office, playing Pokemon Diamond online matches against somebody from GameFAQs message boards. And he did a stall team with Hippowdon and Skarmory and Tyranitar or something. And he just kept swapping out, kept stalling, just trying to kill me with fucking Sandstorm. And there was like a 140 turn match. And I lost, and I took the DS and I threw it at the wall. And then the hinge broke, and then I opened it and I was so sad. And then my dad walked in to see what the ruckus was, and he saw that I broke the DS he bought for me, and he yelled at me. Such a terrible day. It was like really burned in my fucking brain, dude.
there's this great new innovation, but you might be foregoing
One
other
bad
things
day,
along
dude.
the way. And I think this year in particular, we've really overcome all of those barriers. This year,
Just like Alexander the Great. Yeah, exactly. I think that was his founding memory too.
it's at 8.9 millimeters slim, so that's close to the thickness of just one of our standard flagship phones, and it unfolds into a large format experience. Same with our flip device. In the past, people said that they'd like to see a more flagship size battery life, for example, and this year we increased the battery life, so it's on par with any of our flagships in terms of battery life.
Today in the US, there are roughly 8 to 10 current models available, including devices from Samsung, Motorola, Google, and OnePlus. And Google just released a teaser of its latest Pixel 10 Pro Fold, but they still make up less than 2% of global smartphone shipments in 2024. Price is another hurdle. Many models cost between $1,500 and $2,000.
The price is at the high end of the smartphone market and creates a niche market in terms of volume. Now, what can change that? I don't think there's been that much progress made on that front to make it mass market yet, but what you do need to happen is prices need to come down over time.
It is cool technology. Like, it still shocks me that you could have a foldable screen in the way that it looks like on Ari's phone. Like, it's cool. It looks seamless when it opens up. I think it's cool. I think it's like a sick, but I also don't want one at all.
Apple's debut is reportedly set for 2026.
A very, very thin smartphone now with today's technology, and if the foldable devices get better, they can make the screens bigger on the front. So a lot of more pieces are in place right now.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the
Apple
podcast.
wanted-
For today's guest, we have Ari Shafir. Welcome in. And then you come sit in the middle, right here. Yeah, now you sit right here. And as today's co-host, we have Mike as usual. Welcome in, Mike.
What's gonna happen with this?
Well, which one? Oh, can I check it out? So please just pull down mic real close to you. Just introduce yourself and all that.
Oh, that's it. Hey, how you doing? Should drink more of that. That was on me.
Just in case anybody doesn't know you, just introduce yourself real
My name is Ari Shafir. I'm an Ashkenazi Jew from hailing from Petah Tikva originally, and now here in New York City where there's more Jews. And
Why'd you introduce like the main
I'm a
thing?
comedian. Just came to mind.
That's the first thing?
Yeah, it wasn't like thought out. It's actually the first time I've ever done that.
Really?
Yeah, I've never mentioned Petah Tikva on a podcast before.
What's that?
Petah Tikva is a city near Tel Aviv.
You were born in Israel?
No, but that's where my people are from originally. But I guess more originally Romania.
Okay, and so what's up with the hair thing? Because I didn't know that you were gonna look real funny.
What's up with yours?
Well, mine, this is how I always look. It's always looking funny, but yours is really interesting today.
Yeah, well, there we go. Yeah, I'm just having fun with it for the summer.
Are you going out like this? People have been looking at you
Yeah,
funny?
you know who likes it more than anybody? Which group?
Homeless?
Specifically?
Black?
Black homeless.
Why do they like it? They laughing at you?
No, they're into it.
The men or the woman usually?
Men, black homeless men.
Well, they're not into it like that. They're into it like, look at this guy. You know what I mean?
No, they come up. They give me compliments.
Yeah, but
You know
behind
what they
your
say?
back, they're not.
No, they come out of their way. The white homeless men maybe,
They
yeah.
ask you for quarters?
No, they don't even ask for anything.
What do they say?
Yo, that's fresh, son.
They say that?
Yeah.
And then, they say after? They call you the N-word.
They what? What?
They call you the N-word.
That's not the proper usage.
Well, you want me to say it?
No, if they're calling it to me, that's not the proper usage.
What's the proper usage?
Either like a homie.
No, they don't call you a homie because you call them a homie.
No, I'm saying either it's like you use it in place of a homie or a slur, but not for this.
No, they're like, yo, look at that stupid N-word over there. He's a fucking moron, ain't he? Look at his head. Should we give him a quarter?
The homeless guys are gonna give me a quarter?
They might think that you need it more than them.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
You don't think so?
They're pretty
Can
territorial.
you turn your head this way? Because I only see the bald part, but they're probably seeing the normal part. Okay. It looks interesting.
Yeah.
So now it's like normal.
Now they see. Hold on. Now they see this. This is like a whole different thing. On stage, it's like this way, this way.
Okay.
I can do it for another couple weeks.
Did you perhaps like burn it off, or that was on purpose?
This is just balding up here.
No, but why'd you do this? Was it you burned it off or something? A fire?
Just fun. No. No.
Can you shoot that in Mike's face?
Yeah. Which one's Mike?
He's all. That's Mike, but shoot it over there in Mike's face.
What do you mean? The
Mike?
With the glasses or this?
The glasses.
This guy chilling.
No glasses. Put that straight in his face.
Nah, I don't. I don't know.
I want him to look like you later.
Okay. How do you turn this off? It's gonna explode, buddy.
Right in Mike's face.
This one doesn't fuck it. I don't care for fire at all. This was a fucking wild one, huh? What did he do?
Oh no, he's just chilling.
No, what did he do though?
He's like a homie, as you said earlier.
Okay, well, I said it's in the place for something else.
You want to turn it off?
Yeah, I'd love to.
You know how to figure it out?
No, come on.
No, it's okay? You don't want it in your face?
No.
Okay.
Too much.
Too much? Sometimes I don't know my limits.
It's not that. It's just like my skin is allergic to, high level flames.
Oh, why is that?
Just breaks out in boils and stuff.
Like a usual person, or?
Yeah, like a usual person.
Okay, because some people say that like
They're more so?
the Jewish people have like those rashes and they're always sick in the winter.
You mean like the ovens in the Holocaust?
I wasn't referring to that specifically, but that was a little implied.
Yeah. Yeah, then they're also allergic to it. But again, like everybody, they're just more exposed. It's exposed.
But I don't know if that
like,
melted them directly. I think that might have been. Did that melt their skin or no?
Good question. Look that up.
Did that turn them to ashes? I don't know how it worked.
I think, I don't really know how it works. Or were they already dead?
I'm not able to ask them.
No.
Oh boy.
They're really looking it up.
Elam status.
Just burn, no melt. How are you enjoying New York so far?
Oh, it's pretty good. This is my first time here.
Really?
Yeah, I've never been here before.
What have you been up to? What have you been doing?
Not much. I've been just getting the podcast ready, but I've been trying to
Can I just borrow that?
No.
I won't touch it.
You want to slap him?
Yeah, it's like a little notepad.
I'll allow you.
Do you have another little notepad I can use?
Yeah, I do. But
Okay,
it's for a different guest who's coming in a couple hours.
But not one that's not filled out.
Oh
That's
no,
what the
they're all filled out. Here.
Oh, wait, so what have you been doing in New York?
Oh, I don't know. I forgot what I was saying. I was trying to get one of those guys, cause I had like.
Which guys?
I've had a homeless guy on here before, so I like doing podcasts with homeless people, but none of them would interact with me so far.
What's different from
You
that?
gotta give them money, bro.
They ask for money, but they don't even take it when you offer. One guy asked me for money. I tried giving it to him. I said, I'll give you 50 more for a podcast. He said, then I want shoes. I said, I'll give
No,
you shoes.
that never happened.
They keep going.
No, that
they keep going.
Bullshit.
That's exactly.
Use $50 and he wouldn't take that?
He wouldn't take it.
Do you know what a windfall that is for a homeless guy?
Well, he doesn't understand that. But let's move
The
on.
business sense is not there.
Do you think you've stolen more or less money than the average Jewish throughout your life?
Money or things?
Money.
Money.
That's typically the one.
More or less money than the average Jewish. Less. I'm trying to think how much money I've taken. I mostly steal goods.
Like what?
Things.
Like small things, like
this.
stuff?
If I wanted that, I wouldn't be paying for it.
But you would pay for a TV or something?
Yeah, how are you gonna take that out? If you see an angle on it.
If you could get one for free, you would take it though.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a little game show. We don't really do game shows that often, but it's
Okay.
you know, like name the prize.
What number episode is this for you? How long you been going on here?
About a year now. I think maybe this is like 40, 50, something like that.
Un año for the Spanish people.
What, you want it?
Un año.
What does that mean?
1 year.
Huh?
For the Spanish.
Oh no, it's okay. Don't ask those guys.
So.
But I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna
Okay.
name 5 comedians in your circle. Okay.
Okay.
Like all of the
I'm
people-
interested to see what my circle is.
Yeah, and then you're gonna have to tell me who's the odd one out and why. Okay.
Okay. And why? Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna name the 5 comedians in your circle, and you.
Hold on, before you even do this.
Who's the odd one out?
Sometimes I have trouble with memory. Can I write these down as you go so I can glance at it?
I think you'll figure it out quick.
Okay.
Ari Shafir.
Yeah.
Joey Diaz.
Yeah.
Mark Normand.
Yeah.
Shane Gillis.
Yeah.
Brendan Schwab.
Brendan Schwab.
Who's doesn't fit in there and why?
Say them again.
Okay, let's try again. Ari Shafir, Joey Diaz, Mark Normand, Shane Gillis, Brendan Schwab.
I'm the only bald one.
Nope, you have hair.
What?
That's not. No, you're wrong.
But
Don't
balding.
try to act like you don't know what's the answer here, because we all know it, and so does everybody else.
Oh really? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you got all these different. One more time.
Here, let's try to eliminate them slowly.
Okay.
Do you think it's
Wait, odd man out. But you're saying there's a group.
Well, you got it
Which one doesn't fit?
Yes.
For what reason?
No, but I have a specific reason.
Buddy, remember the SATs?
Well, you could just go. You could say everybody doesn't fit for their own reason. You could say
Right.
Joey
That's
Diaz.
that's the game.
No, it's not. The game.
I
is
was
that,
thinking who's the fattest, but you got Shane and Joey for that.
Okay, so do you?
So they're not out.
My reason.
Baldest, only one.
Are you allowed to say the reason we're both thinking right now, or no?
Am I what?
Allowed to say it?
I'm allowed to say whatever I want. I'm a free American.
Okay,
with a
so
comedy
so
background.
who is it and why? Because I know, like every time I'm out, you're like stumbling. Who is it? You know who it is. Come on.
Well, here's what I generally do. I don't take like hacky answers for things that have been done like 20,000 times. So I try to think like a unique angle on everything.
No, who is it?
I try to think of a unique angle.
It's hockey, but nobody asks it to them in the face.
Everybody asks it all the time.
They ask you about it?
Done like 2 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So we both are thinking the same thing, though.
Yeah, I'm the bald one.
No.
And I'm going balder, and I don't like it.
Okay,
I'm talking to a guy in Turkey.
I'll give you a hint.
Seeing if I can get it through.
I'll give you a hint. It's not Ari Shafir, Joey Diaz, Mark Normand, or Shane Gillis.
Okay, then it's the other one, I guess.
Who is the other one?
I don't know.
Are you even allowed to say his name?
Why is the other man out? Why is the other man out?
You tell me, man. I don't want to get sued.
Oh, it's like who's the most litigious?
That's kind of included in there. It's an attributor.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think?
What do you think who's litigious?
Who's the most litigious out of those 5?
I should have sued people.
He's got you beat Andrew Jewish.
Andrew Jewish, that's a good name.
Andrew Jewish?
Yeah.
No, I said and you're Jewish.
I know, but I like Andrew Jewish.
Yeah.
What'd this guy do?
He made a video about Brendan Schwab.
Oh yeah.
And he didn't have the money to pay him back, so now he has to be like that, just as like a little shame thing.
Yeah.
You want to move on?
Well, we can do whatever you want. I like to roll with stuff.
Do you look down on those who aren't Jewish and think you're better because of it?
No, I don't. Okay, so I don't think it's because of that.
You think you're better, but not because you're Jewish.
Right.
But some Jewish people, I was talking to.
It's like indirectly. I'm more educated. Like, why am I more educated? Oh, because Jews fucking educate their children. But that's not. It's an indirect.
But it's an attribute. The reasons you think you're better are because they are factored in that you're Jewish. Like it's all. I'm not asking that. I'm saying like the other day I talked to a rabbi. And when I was talking to him, he told me that. Well, it was on the podcast. He told me that he thinks that the Jews are the chosen people.
Yeah. Who chose them?
He said God. Do you believe this?
I mean, it's not a bad guy to be chosen by. It's not a bad guy to be chosen by.
But do you believe it?
No, I don't believe that.
Oh no, you don't believe it.
No.
But he would make the point
Yeah.
that you're a self-hating Jewish. That's what he told me.
He told you that about me?
No, he said it about me because I said I don't think I'm chosen because of it. I think it's for other reasons.
Yeah, right. You're chosen for other reasons. Like,
Yeah, but he said it's because I'm Jewish.
but can it also be another reason?
No, well, it could.
Let's say
be,
you were
but
chosen for like a Rhodes scholarship.
Rhodes scholarship.
Yeah.
What's a Rhodes like getting accepted into a school?
Well, yeah, Rhodes scholar is like a.
He doesn't mean chosen for a specific specific thing. He means chosen as a human. He's saying he valued me more because I'm Jewish than a non-Jew.
Really?
That was the implication, yes.
Even though you're a self-hating one?
Well, that's what he called me.
You're Jewish?
Yeah.
Matan's like a Hebrew name.
It is
Holy name.
Hebrew, yeah.
Hold on, let me see if I can remember. I don't know. Gift?
That's what it means, yes.
Is that real?
Yeah, that's what it means.
Oh, I pulled that back.
You speak it?
I Tzat, I guess. Yeah, that's self-hating. You should have been like,
no.
you want to see self-hating? I'll show you self-hating. And then taking out one of those whips things that Christians use.
What, on the black people?
No, on themselves. Different whip.
The
Different
Christians
one.
whip themselves?
Yeah, the
What,
smaller whip.
when they do something bad?
Yeah, they're like, I'm so bad, I'm so bad.
That seems like a good way to...
Yeah, no one has to deal with it.
How much longer are you going to look like that before you do... Are you going to... You think...
Short end, later today. Middle end, by the end of the month.
So you were just keeping this until you came on this podcast?
No, I've had it for a few weeks already.
No, but you're saying you're going to get rid of it later today?
It's on the table.
Okay.
I'm probably not going to.
What do you
Long
think
end
for?
could just be for the next year.
Because I'm thinking that, you know, it's balding a little on the top, I think. I'm not even trying to insult you, so I think it might be difficult.
I can see it.
You kind of put yourself at a disadvantage by doing that. I don't know if they're going to come back at all.
The hair?
Yeah.
No, that's not how it works.
Well,
you haven't insulted them away. When you shave your head, it's just like it's cut.
yeah, but well, why is it then balding in the first place?
God.
Yeah, well, I'm
not the chosen people.
He's punishing you.
How's my mic?
Self-hating. You're asking how the mic is?
Yeah.
You don't think it's working?
Well, I'm turning this way, so I wonder.
Why are you turning that way?
So I can see.
You don't want to look at him? Would you let Mike, not Mike, just Mike over there, would you let him crash at your house for a couple of days or no?
This one?
No, not that one.
That one?
Yeah, Fat Mike.
It's already Fat Mike.
Would you let him crash at your house for a couple of days?
I would not.
Why not? He just needs somewhere to stay for a little bit.
Yeah. I would not.
He can help clean around the house.
Oh,
Are you in a relationship?
No. But like...
You live in a house or no?
No, apartment, New York.
How many bedrooms?
There's a spare bedroom.
So he could crash at your house for a little
He could.
But he won't. Why not?
I like my privacy. I don't know him. I'm not good around strangers.
Couple of weeks? Not that long.
It's pushing it even for like just to come say hi is a lot, to be honest. Just because I don't know what he's up to.
Do you think when God made you Jewish and autistic, he was in the middle of double points?
What's double?
From like Black Ops, like you know zombies mode in Black Ops. When you shoot the zombies, you get double the points.
No, I'm the one who doesn't get the reference.
Oh, you don't? You know what Call of Duty?
A long time ago, yeah.
Okay, so there's a mode where you kill zombies.
I would not play that mode.
I'm just
The
explaining.
cowards mode.
Well, you're.
The cowards mode.
Well, I'm just.
Play story or.
That's fine, but I'm just explaining that sometimes you get double points.
True. Okay. So yes.
So I'm asking if he was in the middle of double points when he made that rule.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe he got double.
Yeah.
People share.
Hey guys, sorry for the interruption. I have to let you know that today's episode is sponsored by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. They have over 10 million users and over billions of dollars awarded. Using Prize Picks, you can now win 100 times your money with as little as 4 correct picks. And the Prize Picks also invented the flex play, which means that you can still cash out even if your lineup isn't perfect, and you can still double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. My friend Mike, who personally uses Prize Picks, wanted me to let you know one of his lineup, which has Jamar Chase with over 79.5 receiving yards, Patrick Mahomes with more than 1.5 touchdowns, Travis Kelce with more than baseball fans and winning
Fans? All
Yeah.
baseball fans?
Yeah.
Okay, and
Okay, if you had to choose the you got me screwing up the question. If you had to choose between saving the lives of all baseball fans and winning $5 off of a $10 scratcher, which would you pick?
$5 over $10. Oh, so I've lost. I need more info.
Okay, you go, you buy a scratcher.
So I've already bought the scratcher.
It's already there.
Okay, so I'm already out.
Well, if you no. If you pick the baseball fans, you don't even buy the scratcher.
I don't buy the scratcher. Yeah, I'm losing $5 on a $10 scratcher.
No, you're winning 5.
On a $10 scratcher.
Yeah, but you get to redeem it for the $5. You're winning 5.
But I paid him 10.
But you're walking out of the store with $5.
But I walked in with 10.
That dude fucking
You
dead.
could use a card.
Yeah, either way, I'm $5 poor for the event.
In total, in the bank, it's possible, but otherwise, all of those guys get to continue.
Oh, the fan.
Yeah.
I'm not really concerned with them. I want to know, is it like you get your 10 back plus 5?
No. If I see what you're asking, in total, you lose 5.
You lose 5. Yeah, no, the base, the
Okay, what if you just win 5?
Baseball fans.
What if you just win 5?
So that's a different story.
Which one would you pick? Yeah.
Or all baseball fans die?
Yeah.
I'm a baseball fan, though.
Oh, you enjoy baseball?
Yeah. Just take me out of it?
No.
Again?
Well, sure, well, then it becomes a suicide question. Yeah, you're out of it.
I'm out of it. Then I'll take the baseball fans gone. No, wait. Win 5? I'll win 5.
You,
it doesn't work.
Then they all die.
Yeah.
And you're still losing $5.
Yeah, no, I don't want to lose the 5. I'm just concerned with the 5. I don't know those guys. A lot of them are Astros fans. I don't know those guys.
Okay, you win.
And a lot of people died.
Here, let me rephrase it. You win $5 off of a $10 scratcher.
Yeah.
Or your nose becomes normal looking.
I'll take the normal looking nose.
Normal looking nose?
Yeah.
You ever consider getting that fixed up or not yet?
Nah.
Why not?
I fuck a lot, so it hasn't really gotten in the way.
The nose?
Yeah.
I have a similar one, but yours is just more like pointed at the top of it.
Before? Yeah, you don't have the bump there.
Yeah.
And it's just smaller.
Why do you have that?
The bump?
Yeah.
I don't know. But, well.
Another punishment. He was on triple points.
Can you cut this out if I tell you something?
Okay. The diamonds, right in the nose.
Cut back in.
And do you live in those tunnels?
No, but I've been through them.
That's
You've
so
been through
dangerous.
them?
They're gonna have
Just
so much
tunnels in New
AP.
York, or the specific tunnels where those Jewish people?
The Jewish ones. You know why they're there?
I heard that they were abducting like people.
Not abducting, trafficking.
Is that the one?
Underage sex trafficking.
That's what I heard. That actually relates to the next question.
Okay.
Would you consider having kids with kids?
Okay, well, I want to answer honestly for these questions.
Yeah.
So I got to think about this. I know that you probably get a lot of people rapid fire answers, right?
Some people are more difficult.
Yeah. So like you can't
So real quick, whatever.
10-year-old, they're not going to be able to.
Some of them can. In the Middle East.
10.
In the Middle East.
12.
12. Okay, well that's still, that's part of the question. It's for all intensive purposes. It's besides the point.
Yeah.
And then, by the way, whatever jokes or not jokes, whatever questions we don't use on you, we're just gonna transfer that to Longneck, who's coming in later.
Who's Longneck?
I will figure it out.
Okay.
But just continue what you're saying.
No, I probably wouldn't have a kid with a kid. I had a vasectomy.
You did?
Yeah.
Why? You have any children now?
I fuck a lot of like 12-year-olds.
You like sleeping with 12-year-olds?
Yeah, but they're just that age where you're like, if you see the start of a pube, you see the start of a fucking kid, you see the start of a life.
And that's too far for you.
Yeah, I don't want a kid.
And so when you usually do that, where do you do it?
Where do I usually, doctor's office?
Above or below the southern border?
Above. Vasectomy?
No, sleeping with the kids.
Oh. No, whatever, dude.
No, they're fake.
Really?
Yeah. Don't get any ideas, by the way.
Fake earrings or fake diamond?
Fake diamond.
Ah.
I'm just saying, don't get any ideas.
I won't.
Oh,
Shit. This is why.
It's okay.
Well, that's coming out of the deposit.
Well, we're not. What's the table?
Yep.
I'm not bringing these back to Los Angeles anyways. $40. It's a little bit out of the budget, but there's no other option.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's move on anyway.
What's this guy do?
Huh?
What's this guy do?
I already told you.
Chilling.
He made one of those videos where they, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not exactly, but it was compared and contrasted in court. I actually didn't get to it.
Oh, really?
Why do you think you've been able to avoid cancellation for so long, regardless of the fact that you had a show called The Amazing Rapist?
It was called The Amazing Racist, which honestly isn't that much.
Oh, with the C?
With the C.
Oh, I thought it was with the other one.
With the P.
Yeah.
No.
Would you consider doing that as like a follow-up show?
The Amazing Rapist?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. When you say what I consider, it's being considered right now.
This is the first time you're thinking about it?
First time I'm thinking about it, and then of course I got
idea.
Yeah, let's hear it.
No, can I just get some of the money?
Yeah.
How much?
If I do it.
It's my idea. I think I should be accredited a little bit.
A percentage, not an amount. Percentage.
Yeah, but like how much? Like 12%?
I was thinking 10, but
okay.
Yeah, if you hit me straight away with 12%, I'd be like, yeah.
12 worth?
12, yeah.
Okay. You sure you don't want to get Mike with that for sure?
It's not for sure, but I don't.
If you change your mind, you'll let me know?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to fuck him another table.
Huh?
I don't want to fuck him another table.
No, that's not a problem. The table's still usable. It's just...
Yeah, but it's yeah. I don't.
Huh? No, it's not hot.
It was.
Would you rather instantly age 20 years or be reborn as a baby in Germany during the 1940s?
Same parents?
Sure. Same family members. For that.
Age 20 years, I'm gone.
How old are you
20 in the 40s, I got a chance at 47 or beyond. I'll take that. I'll take.
No, you're not. No, not that type of the 40s. Like a little bit lower.
Oh yeah, 42. Little Jackie Robinson.
Yeah, sure.
I got a chance if they give me away to one of those Christian families.
They would take you.
Yeah,
but it seems like your main identity
child.
is being Jewish.
Nah.
That's like the main character trait, no?
No.
Which one is it then?
New York.
Yeah, but that's, it's the same thing.
Yeah, it is.
You don't act like a New York black person.
No, I don't. That's fresh, though.
Well, that's not even a good impression.
Yo, that's... Hold on, I can do better. Yo, that's fresh, son.
Get rid of son. Replace it with a different word. Then you might sound a little more accurate.
But that's what they told me. The less fresh.
Nah, that word. That's super Jewish. Well, they might actually say that, but that's besides the point. You want me to say it?
To you, I'm saying. Like they say to you. No, I don't need you to say it. You can if you want, though. It's a free country. Free speech above all.
This is a two questions. Yeah, they're both about being Jewish again.
Okay.
We have a lot of those.
Yeah, I never stopped.
Yeah. Why do you think most Jewish people secretly have the urge to take control of the government and steal as much money as possible?
I think it's universal to want that. We're the only ones capable of it.
No, they want it more than the other ones, though.
Man, I think just it's on the horizon.
I don't think Asian people care as much about it as others.
It's like saying, do poor people want steak? Like, yeah, but they're not even thinking about it. But rich guys like, I'm thinking
oh, you're saying that they just don't have the opportunity for it?
Right, so they don't think about it.
Okay, why do you think some Jewish babies are born with small red horns popping out of their head?
I'm not sure that's a done thing.
It's like when babies have different color eyes, they change. And some Jewish babies have little...
Like Australian.
What about them?
Different color eyes. Blue.
Yeah, but I'm saying that some people are born with like blue eyes and they turn green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Jews are born with small horns when we shave them down.
Not all of them. I was born with brown eyes. I still have brown eyes, but I know some.
Do you grow your hair big to cover up your horns?
No, they go away. Look.
At what age?
I think
Can't do enough.
50, 60.
No. How's yours go?
I just never had them.
You just can't see up there.
We can touch. See, they would. No, not you.
Well, that's the we. Who am I in the we? We can touch.
Like me and Mike.
Mike, touch him.
He's just chilling. How you doing, Mike? I haven't. Who you want to speak? Mike or Mike?
God, what did he do though?
We don't have to go over that again. Come on.
Okay.
You don't want the answer to that question. If you care so much about minorities, why don't you give them all your money?
I don't care about minorities.
You made a show called The Amazing Racist.
Yeah.
So you care about them a little, at least.
It wasn't an outreach show.
No, I understand, but you have some care put into it.
Yeah, for me in the filming.
Oh, you're only concerned with you.
It's like saying, do you have care for this table? Because you put a table in your show.
No, really.
No, not really.
Okay, so let me ask you, when you were filming it, you messed with all the different people?
Yeah.
You did Jewish, Black, Asian, Mexican?
There's got to be something else too. Arab.
You did Arab?
Yeah, Muslim, whatever.
Okay. And when you were doing it, which one were you the most scared by? I imagine you weren't really intimidated with the Jewish.
No. Oh, least scared.
I saw a clip of it. You went to
the
store?
Black.
You were most scared with the black people?
Yeah.
What did you do to them?
So loud.
Give me any examples?
You
looked proud when you said that. Like, I fucking got him. Like,
yeah, it was,
like
it was a good show. We had some good ones.
But those were the best episodes on the African Americans?
No, but that's the most scared I was.
And why were you the most
Latinos, people like that one a lot.
Latinos liked when you were messing with the black people.
No, people like the one I did about Latinos.
What'd you do?
I picked up a bunch, drove them to an INS, that fixed my deck, and then there's
INS?
Immigration Naturalization Services.
Like ICE?
ICE. So, yeah, like it. Different, but like.
Just for, is that only for like the West Coast?
INS?
Yeah.
ICE is. This guy's got issues.
Who? What'd he do?
Skinny Mike.
Skinny Mike?
Yeah.
No, he just Mike.
Oh, Mike.
Double.
Yeah. And let me ask you a question.
Okay.
How's the weather today?
How's the weather?
Yeah.
It's okay.
Nice. Moving on.
Where do you get your ideas from? Another classic.
Yeah. They just kind of come to me, chosen people.
Chosen people? I have hair here? No, it's not true.
Little wispy one. I didn't notice it till you turned. Turn that way?
I've been like this the whole time.
I know, but then you turn for a second to read your secret.
So go like this?
Little wispy one.
No, it's not true.
Yeah, it's
no,
true.
it's not true. No,
Get a
it's
zoom
not.
in on that?
No.
Yeah.
You answer the question.
What's the question?
Where do you get your ideas from?
They come to me.
They just pop up?
Yeah, from day-to-day life.
Oh, so you get your jokes like you see something funny happen.
Yeah, like anvils falling, and like that'd be funny.
Anvil falling?
Yeah.
Like a metal thing from Minecraft?
Yeah, like that.
Okay.
Fall, they hit somebody, they go, whoa.
But where would you have seen that?
Like,
Are you talking like metaphorically or
no, on the
literally?
street.
You saw that happen to somebody?
It happens sometimes.
It happens sometimes?
Yeah.
I'm getting tired of this.
Where do you get your ideas from?
No, I don't have to answer. I'm the producer here.
Where do you get your ideas from, Mike? Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike. Want a cigarette in here?
Yeah.
Good. Keep that under advisement.
Oh, you're not gonna?
Nah, not yet. I don't know if I can. What are my options?
You can't, by the way. I was gonna take it from you. I just wanted to get it. That's why I was hoping you would take it out. Well, this actually isn't my studio. I just wanted to take it, like stealing.
Yeah.
Like we discussed earlier.
Yeah. Well, okay. It's just vandalism, though. Matan.
Yeah.
What do your parents do for a living?
Oh, nothing.
Cool.
They just chilling. Yeah, like, but he's not my parents, but
Like that?
not like that, but similar.
Prison?
Prison? One of them. Yeah.
Were they gone when you were growing up?
No, I had to work on it. It was like a tough process, but I got a ring there.
Nice. How did your mom? Okay.
Yeah, my mom is.
Chick there.
Your parents still with you or no?
Yeah, still with us.
Any of them, like, I'm not asking if they're still alive. I'm asking, are they still with you? Or are they in jail?
No, they're still with us.
They're still with you like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey guys, sorry for the interruption. I have to let you know that today's episode a lot more comedian.
No, that's not true.
Company would be again to get 20% off your order. If you weren't a comedian, do you think any company would be willing to hire someone who looks like you?
No.
And do you think?
No, that's not true. I used to do a lot of commercials. I'm an HR person. I played an HR person really well. Not now, but back then when I had more hair. When I had hair like.
What type of HR? Like
human resources, just like a company.
When somebody complains about racism or misogyny?
They didn't do the backstories, but that.
Were you actually an HR person or just on ads?
No, on ads, yeah.
And you were doing this?
Scientist. Anything I wear a knit brown tie.
A brown tie?
Yeah, knit brown.
Knit?
Knit, K-N-I-T.
Oh, I thought you were saying you're trying to sneak it in there.
No. You can say it if you want to say it.
I want to.
I know. It's a fun word.
You say it off camera?
Oh, so much.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I won't do it on camera though. People really try to get me, like, I get black guests on here and they're trying to get me to do it, but I
They're
won't.
trying. Oh, tell them not to act like. Oh, fuck, you almost got me.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, it's so.
It gets you. It's real
Roll.
close. It rolls off the tongue.
How come they get it?
And the fact that I
didn't used to enslave you. That was other people. So I should be able to say
I don't even care if it was me. Listen, I won't say it on camera, but the fact that I'm comfortable using it in public, like walking in New York, like some guy gets in my way, I say it,
Yeah.
it makes it harder not to say on camera. It's not something I just say around my buddies. It's something, it's just part of my language.
Yeah, I yelled the F word at my friend publicly because I said it too much privately.
Fuck?
Yeah, sort of.
Or the other one?
The other one.
And what, you're not allowed to say that word anymore?
No, it was Gay Pride Day, poo. bad at barcade and.
So you're not allowed to say on the Gay Pride Day?
Yeah, exactly.
Why not?
You have to say it any day.
Yeah, but the gay people aren't.
They don't use it the way black people use it.
You know what the thing is though. You know why it's an issue for them more than the black people now?
Hold on. Why?
The black people said to take control of the word.
The gays need to.
They haven't at all.
The queer, they took that. They did. The girls did dyke pretty well.
What does dyke mean? It's for the female gay?
Yeah, female gay. But they lean into it. So they took it back.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't really hear that often. I guess they kind of won then if I don't hear it often.
You don't go to that clubs.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Well, he's probably too.
You would fit in there, actually. You look like a little,
I look like a
you
gay
look
woman?
a little dyke. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That's not a little dyke.
Is that funny?
Yeah.
That's funny?
Yeah.
That's the best thing this whole podcast.
You do really well. You do really well on a club called the Hung Jury.
The hung jury from the gun from what? Destiny?
No. Dude, they would love you.
Okay,
They'd
we
move
need
you
to
in right away.
this line of-
Bring your toothbrush, they'd say. Hey Matani, you little fucking dyke. They'd say, hey, come move in. I got a spare toothbrush. Read this.
Did you check it out yet or no?
Not yet.
Check it out.
This is gonna say yours.
That's a good one.
Buddy, I'm having trouble reading this. Practicing stores.
You can't read my writing?
It's hard.
Okay, go word by word.
Practicing.
Practice.
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 Practicing.
Now I'm angry.
Oh, practicing.
Stop.
Stand.
Stand up.
You know the next word.
Lonos.
No, no, not exactly.
Carlos.
Carlos. Carlos. What's the next one? You know that. You don't even need to read the next one.
I do, but it's not spelled Merzia.
I didn't spell it Merzia.
Looks like Merzia. Looks like Merzia.
That's a C.
And that's an N? You
Yeah.
just don't go down with your N's?
No, I have all the words connected. I write in like a cursive, but not in cursive.
Oh, well, what's the end? Or water?
Who do you think is the most evil person to ever exist?
This landlord I had on 11th and B.
Oh, I actually have a question about that.
Yeah?
What do you think is the appropriate way?
I have a question about my landlord on 11th and B?
Not exactly that, but that type of question. What do you think we should... Do you think an appropriate way to handle someone raising your rent is to just start sleeping outside of the house?
No. How's that going to combat the problem?
Because then...
Now you have no home and you're paying higher rent.
But who's going to want to move into that house?
Oh, okay. We've all thought about doing something to the entire apartment building to hurt them.
Oh, well, I don't live in an apartment. I'm saying if you lived in a house.
What do you got?
Oh, well, I live in a house.
Your parents, your own?
My own, but it's in Los Angeles, so it's probably less expensive than your apartment.
Yeah, probably.
But I'm just saying if you lived in a house.
Then what was the question?
The apartment, this wouldn't really work for apartments.
First of all, this attitude's not going to work at the fucking lesbian bars.
Yeah, fuck you.
That's the attitude.
Punk ass Jewish bitch.
Yeah, that's
what you.
They
Yeah,
want a tough.
You know that I was
a little
gonna,
tough, like
set
compensating
up,
for
asshole.
your little beautiful girlish looks.
Fucking punk ass.
little dykey matan. Little
What's
matan
the
on
answer?
the dyke.
So the question.
What's the question again? Should I sleep outside?
If it's inappropriate, do you think that would be like effective or no?
No, I think it'd be ineffective. There's so many people already sleeping outside.
No, but outside of the house, not like.
I know. There's so many people sleeping.
Right on the door.
Oh, it's a house. Oh, I get it. I'm thinking suburbs, not where I currently live.
No, like a reasonable one-story house that you could just sleep right inside of the front door. So if they're showing it to someone to try to get a new tenant,
yeah,
you can just chill right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't think it's gonna be done. Burn it
Why
down.
not?
Burn it down. Do something to it.
Yeah, but then you don't get to move back in the house.
You think you're gonna in your plan?
I'll just say you can make as much money as you did last month. You just can't raise the rent. And then if that doesn't work, you just hire a homeless guy to pee on it, and then nobody's gonna want to live in a place that smells like that.
And yet, LA is still thriving.
Oh, that's true. Actually, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. What's up, buddy?
You comedians love touching people.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's move on.
You raised in LA?
Yeah, I was born there. This is the first time I've been in New York.
Really?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Why? You haven't used up all the fucking lesbian bars in LA yet?
I don't even think there's that many. There's probably much more in New York. Actually, no.
Much more in New York.
No, I don't think so. Well, there's like that one gay street.
I'm just picturing you as a fucking young lesbian.
Well, I thought you said I already looked like
They
one.
would eat you up. I know.
So what
But I'm
would you-
picturing with an actual vagina. Going in there, they'd be like, hey, what's up? Like, shut up, bitch.
That's how they act?
You'd have this attitude that you have.
Do you think that they like that stereotype of being like angry or no?
There's so many different types. You'd be one of the types, and you do well.
Are there types of lesbians who are like calm and relaxed?
Yeah. Lipstick lesbians.
Who?
Lipstick lesbians.
You know like the different terminologies for it?
You. Lipstick lesbians, bull dykes. You'd be like compensating like. Yeah, I could see you being like trans man.
Do you think assisted suicide is a good untapped business venture?
Yeah, you gotta be paid up front though.
Oh yeah, of course. But the thing is, some of them probably will just give you all the money in the bank.
All of it. That's a good point. Like, actually, I need a little more. And they'd be like, yeah, what do I care?
Yeah, exactly. They have no use, especially if they have no family.
I 100%.
But it was my idea.
I know, but you ran about
I'll
Not
give-
12. Not 12. That's too high. Gross or net, obviously. Gross. I'll allow gross.
I don't know which one is smaller.
Gross. That's how you remember it's gross.
Gross?
Ew, it's not as much. And net is like,
Oh, net is without. Okay, I understand.
yeah, that might be wrong.
Oh, and let me ask you a question. I said we were gonna come.
God, different than why am I drunk, huh?
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 Well, I said we were gonna talk about it later, so I have to ask you real quick.
Okay.
What do you think about that long neck guy? He's coming in right now. What do you think?
Long legs?
Long neck.
Who's long neck?
He's coming in.
Oh, fuck.
Long neck.
I don't know long neck.
You don't know him? You're about to meet him. He just texted me. You heard that?
I did hear it.
We have him waiting
Very
outside.
unprofessional.
We put him in the. There's two elevators to get to this floor.
Yeah.
We put him in the mechanical one and then we shut it down.
No.
He's just chilling there. He's been there for weeks.
Who's long neck? Who's regular? Buddy.
He's a regular here.
I'm worried about what you might be doing myself.
You don't get the cultural reference?
Long neck?
You don't get it?
No, I don't. I legitimately don't.
Why not?
What's a long neck? That's not even a stereotype. That's not even a stereotype.
That's his,
long neck.
That's his name on Instagram.
Big nose, big dick, big balls.
That's his name on Instagram.
I don't know what's the cultural stereotype then. That's a name on Instagram.
No, his name is Long Neck.
I don't get this cultural stereotype.
It's no cultural. He's white.
But you just said you don't get the cultural stereotype. Well, all right, I get it.
So say right now that you're a big fan of Long Neck.
Long necks, you know how white people are.
No, say I love Long Neck. He's coming in next.
Long neck's great. I love long neck.
So we're gonna end it here, all right?
All right, but bring long. I want to meet long neck.
Oh, you're gonna meet him on the way out.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh.
What's this guy?
Looks like it's about to explode.
No, it's a table.
Just put it down on the table.
You see, it's about to burn again.
Whatever. I can't let him wait any longer. Let's see.
What do you mean? That's it. Wait, I don't understand what you're saying. We got no. Okay, let's go. Where do we go? Outside to meet him?
He's gonna be in the elevator.
With YouTube Premium, watch ad-free videos and listen ad-free on the YouTube Music app. That's right, one subscription.
This video is brought to you by Squarespace. A little over a year ago, I made a video called The Great British Class System Explained. We went through the upper class, the middle class, the working class. However, the truth is that understanding of the British class system is honestly a little bit out of date. Things have changed, right? There was a brand new update, Season 2 released, which flipped the whole British class system on its head. Middle class uni graduates out of work claiming benefits, and millionaire working class plumbers arguing against taxing rich people.
I'm very disappointed. I think it's a disgraceful decision.
And of course, a quiet ruling class behind the scenes, pulling the strings whilst we all fight each other. This new class dynamic of Britain has really affected politics, as society becomes increasingly divided and radicalised. So, today we will explore Britain's new class war. Class is one of those concepts that are both really simple and confusing at the same time. On one hand, we understand class as like culture and behavior, whether you pronounce your T's when you say Luton.
And I'm here today in Luton, voted the worst place to live in England.
Or whether you shop at Louis Vuitton or Primark. And that's all well and good, that's very interesting, but on the other hand, class is really about power and ownership. Do you control large swathes of land? Do you control factories? Do you control machinery? Do you even control the orcs in your Ford Fiesta? And these two things are connected, right? Culture and also power. And seemingly every civilization in history has always had some kind of class system. But the thing is, the class system is never rigid. It evolves and changes based on the power dynamics of that era. So for a very long time in European history, in the medieval era, class was split along what they would call the free estates. You would have the nobles at the top, the priests in the middle, and then the peasants at the bottom. But you see, time passed, right? And this system was getting a bit boring. The player counts were dropping. So around about the 17th to 18th century, we released a brand new DLC called the Enlightenment Era.
Don't murder or steal.
Whoa! This new era completely flipped the class dynamics. Adam Smith, who's like he's like Big Daddy Capitalism. He was explaining that there was now a new hierarchy, a new class system where you had the land-owning aristocrats, you had the workers, but now you had the capitalists. But what was interesting is that the aristocrats and the capitalists, they weren't homies. Adam Smith himself, he despised landlords, right? He hated the aristocratic class because they made all of their wealth just simply by sitting back and taking rent from the workers that worked their land. Whereas the capitalists, they were the innovators, the risk takers, the wealth creators. And obviously the workers, yeah, they were doing the bitch work, but look, the capitalists were at least doing something. But this created a tension, right? Because the aristocrats, they were super like just up for chilling all the time. They really didn't like doing anything, they just liked vibing. And the capitalists were like, bros, look, we could make machines that could make boats and we can fucking do cool stuff. Now, long story short, what happened was that this middle class of capitalists became wealthier than the aristocrats and eventually toppled them politically. And so yeah, this class system, this rigid class system that had existed all throughout medieval Europe for hundreds and hundreds of years had now completely changed. The capitalists were now in charge. And so whilst all this history is unraveling before them, two bros by the name of Marx and Engels, they came to this conclusion that all of history, all of politics, is a continuing class struggle of different groups with different interests and their distance to the control of vital resources needed in an economy that creates these conflicts. And like these guys themselves were rich and smart, so they were using fancy French words to describe them. The bourgeoisie, basically rich people who owned the means of production, the factory and the machinery owners. And then you had the proletariat. These were your wage cocks, right? They just worked really hard jobs, and all they had to make money was their labor. So they would sell their labor to the bourgeoisie. But you see, whilst Marx was analyzing this, these power dynamics, he noticed a very weird side character, just a little side piece. These lot weren't aristocratic lords, nor were they factory tycoons. But, very importantly, they weren't wage cocks either. No. These were the shopkeepers, the market traders, the artisan, the small business owners, the petty bourgeois. The petty bourgeois, right? These were a curious bunch. And eventually, they would end up becoming a very powerful political pawn. They were like a strange quirk of capitalism, right? Typically, these were people who grew up working class or came from working class families.
Rob, could you just come round a bit close? Come closer, because at these prices I can't afford to deliver.
However, they had managed to amass some wealth, a little bit of money, just enough to open some kind of small business. Now, for the most part, if you were born working class, that was it. Like, you worked for an employer, they chucked you down a chimney, you came out and they gave you like 1 pence. What defined them as working class was the fact that they had no ability to generate wealth themselves. All they could do was sell their labor to some rich bro for a wage. That was it. That's the deal. But not the petty bourgeois, no. These boys were nimble. They would find a little gap in the market, slot themselves right in there. Sure, you might have big chains like Sainsbury's that dominate the high street. However, Sainsbury's was only open 9 till 5. It wasn't really worth them being open late. It wouldn't make enough money. But for Peter the petty bourgeois, this was his moment. What if I just...
It's 2025, and you're still using the same cable network? Frontier Fiber is here. Get our best deal before it's gone for just $29.99 per month. Get free premium Wi-Fi and free expert installation. Frontier Fiber, good to go.
Refresh the everyday with Mentos Gum. Yes to fresh.
Don't sleep. We can stay open all night. And like, yeah, Peter might not have the resources and the scale of the big chains, but what he has is something these big chains will never. The grind set.
Talk us through right now. On the Monday night, I've been staying up all night working my new business. A few months from now, business is taking off. I'm going to be chilling in Dubai.
Like Peter, because he's the boss of himself, he can just work as long as he wants. Work long hours into the night, maybe rope the wife and kids in and not pay them any wages. And this was the game plan, right? You know, just find those little gaps in the market that weren't worth it for these big chains to do. And so you take Peter and you multiply him by hundreds of thousands and you get a nation full of shopkeepers. This is the book recommendation for this video, by the way. Very good book. Put an affiliate link below. Couldn't have made this without this book, so check it out. And what was particularly interesting about this class of people was their status, like their ranking in the hierarchy of society. Because they're obviously not in the capitalist elite, but equally they didn't really fit in the working class. But they kind of had traits of both. Like the working class, they too still had to exchange their labor for money. But like the capitalist elite, they owned the fruits of their labor. They owned the means of their production. They might have even employed people. They would have been a boss. And when it comes to their culture, depending on what it is they did, they might be selling to the working class. So they were interacting with them daily. They might speak the same type of language and exhibit the same behaviors as them. But what kind of separated most of them is that they aspired for more than the working class did. Arguably, they were a little bit higher status than the average working class person. And that may be true, but they didn't have the luxury of the rich who inherited everything. Nah, they had to work for what they got. So yeah, it was pretty lonely for the petty bourgeois, right? They existed in this lonely in-between, not quite existing in the same worlds as the working class, but never truly accepted in the world of the bourgeois. So what would come of these people? Before we go any further with this video, I want to give a massive shout out to today's sponsor, Squarespace. Squarespace is the #1 platform for building your own custom, beautiful, amazing website. For me, the best bit is the cutting edge design tools. By the art of businesses, etc. Be sure to head to /Jimmy the Giant to get 10% off.
I just saw a very wild clip. Politicians are no strangers to weird takes. But what Ted Cruz just said is so shocking. I actually can't believe this is real. I double-checked if this was like AI or like a bad lip-reading video or something dubbed over. It's not. He said it with his whole chest.
Senator Booker also said, we should have bipartisan agreement. I think that's a great idea. We should have bipartisan agreement. How about we all come together and say, let's stop murders? How about we all come together and say, let's stop rape? How about we all come together and say, let's stop attacking pedophiles? I want you to look at what happened when the National Guard went to D.C.
What in tarnation? Pardon me? Can we roll that back, put it on the Jumbotron, please? There's no way he just said that out loud, right? What a crazy Freudian slip. Or maybe not even a Freudian slip. He said it with his whole chest.
Senator Booker also said, we should have bipartisan agreement. I think that's a great idea. We should have bipartisan agreement. How about we all come together and say, let's stop murders? How about we all come together and say, let's stop rape? How about we all come together and say, let's stop attacking pedophiles? I want you to look at what happened when the National Guard went to D.C.
What in tarnation? Pardon me? Can we roll that back, put it on the Jumbotron, please? There's no way he just said that out loud, right? What a crazy Freudian slip. Or maybe not even a Freudian slip. It looks like he is reading off a piece of paper for his monologue here. He might have wrote that down as like a really strong stamp that he needs to get across here about people need to come together to stop attacking pedophiles. What? Teddy, sweaty and ready out here trying to defend pedophiles or some shit? Man, those Epstein files are never coming out, huh? Heavens to Betsy. Now, you have to imagine that's not what he meant to say. So you would think that he'd pretty quickly scramble to set the record straight so there's no confusion on where he stands. I don't think he wants to be known as Ted Stop Attacking Pedophiles Cruz. But he never goes back to, like, explain what he tried to express. Also, nobody in the room challenges him on it. Like, hey, Ted, quick question before moving on. Did you mean what you said at the end there? Like you said, you know, stop murder? Okay, good, yeah, all right. And then stop rape. All right, good, yeah, no, rape's bad. Let's stop that. And then you said stop attacking pedophiles, and I couldn't help but be confused because, well, attacking pedophiles is good. Like, that needs to happen more often. In fact, I'd argue we don't attack pedophiles enough. So what did you mean there at the end, Ted? But there is not a soul in this building that says anything about it, not even a peep. So they just move on.
Robbery fell by 57%, homicide fell by 58%, sex abuse fell by 40%. Those are real results, and Detective Pemberton?
Goober just carries on business as usual, as if nothing is abnormal about what he's just stated. No one in the room says anything about it, not even a whisper. That's crazy to me. Now, I attempted to do the impossible of putting together the jigsaw puzzle that is Ted Cruz's enigmatic mind, but that's like dividing by zero. I can't quite figure it out. I tried to understand like what he wanted to say but fumbled based on the slide that he pulls up, which is stats. Robbery, homicide, sex abuse. Homicide ties into the first thing he said about stopping murder, but then the second thing he says about stopping rape, well, that ties into sex abuse. The third thing, robbery, is not anything he ever said about stopping. So where the fuck does the word pedophile even come from? And how does the word attacking pedophiles even squeak out from between his foul butt cheeks? I've seen, like, long versions of this. Not the whole thing. Maybe at some point it comes up as like a, you know, previously on Dragon Ball Z I said this, but meant that. Maybe, but I haven't seen that. I checked both of his Twitter accounts because apparently he's got two. And he posts, like, 8 times a day, and he hasn't uttered a peep about him saying to stop attacking pedophiles, that we should come together to stop attacking pedophiles. So maybe there's a chance that's what he actually believes. It's not that far-fetched. Just look at how the current administration handles everything in regards to Epstein, jumping around from lie to lie to lie about, oh, the Epstein files, they aren't real. The Epstein files, no, they were on my desk, but they're also not real. Also, there's no the new thing, there's no credible information that Epstein trafficked minors to others. There were no clients, there's no list. Also, Maxwell gets moved from a prison to a fucking summer camp, basically. So maybe Ted Cruz is just going full mask off, saying like, alright, enough is enough. Can we stop attacking pedophiles? The Epstein files are never coming out. Like, maybe that's what was on his mind. All in all, it's a pretty interesting strategy here from old Ted Cruz. The think about the pedophiles approach. Why won't anyone think of the pedophiles' feelings? No one's considering that. Stop being mean to pedophiles. Can we all come together and agree on that? Holy shit. It's unbelievable, man. Anyway, I just had to show you this. That's really about it. See ya. Yeah, we can watch the UPS driver now. Is it this one? I'm assuming it's this one.
On February 16, 2025, deputies responded to a report on a suspicious person wearing a UPS uniform who was prowling around the neighborhood. On February 6th,
I mean, I guess it's the hat.
2025, deputies
I guess that counts. It's very like Agent 47 where you just throw on the hat and it's perfect.
Okay, do you have some ID on you?
It was a really big package, you wouldn't understand.
Yeah. Yeah, come on, step over here. How come you're dressed in a UPS uniform? Yeah, get your ID out. It's very funny. Sit down. This is weird.
Do you have any guns or weapons on you?
No! I like that. The classic, it's a joke.
I'll tell you what you look like. You look like a prowler. Put your hands on there. You're gonna get dumped on the ground. You understand that?
A prowler is a vehicle in Halo 3.
Prowler is someone who goes door to door checking to see if houses are going to be unoccupied.
That is a terrible tattoo. I think it's like a big leaf, but it just looks like a single giant sideburn. Looks like Wolverine's mutton chops.
Is that a fucking gun? What is that?
I like that. Why are you dressed in UPS attire? It's a joke. Is that a gun? I don't know. Found it.
No, I'm not.
I'm not small. I just found it, sir.
No. What are you doing?
No! She had a fake tooth with cyanide. God! Quick! Somebody do something!
That is the worst fake seizure I have ever seen. Knock it off.
No! You don't understand! The impossible Jesus.
I want to make sure you're okay. Breathe. Breathe. Oh, then stop pretending to have a seizure. You don't have a seizure. Because you're not having a seizure.
You saved her! You're a hero! He brought her back!
Stop.
I need to watch. Can someone link me a Sigma TikTok?
Oh shit, the aftermath of the seizure, it's coming! Man, that is an interesting looking gun. This looks like one of those gadgets that old YouTube channel would bring on. I forgot the name of it now. The guy that would have like the wacky little illusions and tell you how they work. That's a cool little firearm there. I haven't seen that before.
Deep breath.
The noisy cricket. True.
Make sure she doesn't have any other guns on there. I'm still working on it because I don't want to get picked.
She is really regretting that fake seizure. No, I haven't seen that yet, Nord. Just go all the way and shock her. Yeah, imagine they get the defibrillator out.
Yes or no? It's not illegal to. Just tell me the truth. Were you just faking a seizure or not? Were you just faking a seizure? Okay. I'm going to put your hands up. So do you need this Narcan or not?
Let's go ahead and move on to Kamala Harris's book tour. Crystal, I can't believe I'm saying those words. In September of 2025, let alone showing the clips that we're about to show, because Kamala Harris fully unreconstructed. Is that fair to say, Crystal?
It seems fair. I would say so. It seems fair.
The book is called 107 Days. She has been on Good Morning America, The View, and Rachel Maddow to sell this book, which came out yesterday, and it's going exactly how you would expect. So let's roll C1.
My concern about him running for re-election was completely separate from my admiration and knowledge about his capacity to serve as President of the United States, which was consistent and never wavered.
Well, when we sit here, as we sit here today, do you think he would have been up for running the country for 4 more years?
Here's the distinction that I make. It's, and having had the experience myself, it is one thing to have the capacity to govern. It is another thing to go through an election for President of the United States. And by the way, another piece of what is unprecedented and a bit historical about that race, it is the closest presidential race in the 21st century in terms of the outcome.
Wow. Yeah. You know, say that again, because he likes to say over and over again he's got a mandate.
And that's part of why I wrote this book, because history will talk about this race. It is part of American history. I didn't fully appreciate how much people wanted to know there was a difference between me and President Biden. I thought it was obvious. And I didn't want to offer a difference in a way that would be received or suggested to be a criticism.
And during your appearance, and you write about it, you say, everything about my appearance on The View was going well until it wasn't. And if you recall, you were here 28 days before the election. And I asked you if there was anything you would have done differently than President Biden during the past 4 years. And you said, quote, "There is not a thing that comes to mind," end quote. You write you had no idea you just pulled the pin on a hand grenade. In the moment, I knew. The Trump campaign weaponized your answer against you, my question. And some, including James Carville and Jake Tapper, point to that answer as a turning point in your candidacy. Do you think that moment tipped the election?
No. Good, because Sonny doesn't want to take the blame.
Crystal, I'm so excited to get your response to Kamala Harris answering some pretty softball questions, if I may say so, about why she let Joe Biden run and how she ended up kind of, well, not that it was her choice to let Joe Biden run, but why she covered for Joe Biden and how she responded to that in the book, and then how she ultimately ended up losing to Donald Trump.
I haven't read the book, full disclosure. But I mean, I might, right?
Really?
It does seem like there's some somewhat interesting stuff in there. To be honest with you, the book is a little bit more candid than I expected it to be. But then in these public media appearances, she's doing the same old, like, let me try to split the difference. Let me try to make everybody happy, which just ends up making literally no one happy. The choice of venue is also worth noting. Like, if you want to be new and improved Kamala Harris and prove to the world you're a different candidate than you're a different person than they thought that you were, don't just do The View and Rachel Maddow. Like, go into Lion's Den, take some risks. Like, go on with Joe. Imagine she did the Joe Rogan podcast at long last, you know, after so much discussion about that. That would be interesting, right? But it's just, I mean, in a sense, I sort of feel bad for her because I feel like, I don't know, she walked herself into this life where she's questing after ambition and power. And she clearly doesn't really care about any particular issues in a way that's like motivating for her, is deeply uncomfortable in these situations, constantly trying to find the right answer, like the correct answer versus what she actually thinks. And then you just end up with this pathetic display where you have to say you didn't realize people wanted you to be different than Joe Biden and you thought it would be obvious, which to me is like that's a gesture towards her identity.
Yes.
That she just thought like, well, I'm a black woman, of course I'm different from Joe Biden. It's like, no, that's not what we're talking about here. Like, you are his vice president. You have stood there and backed his every decision. People wanted to know. They're not happy with how things are going. Yes, they want to know how you're different, what you think went wrong, why they should put their trust in you to create a different outcome than what they're experiencing right now. And then, you know, I've also seen some of the discussion around what she had to say about Gaza. Allegedly, privately, she was urging Biden to be more compassionate, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, but when it actually mattered, when you were in a position of power, you did nothing to change anything, right? And now we're supposed to believe after the fact that, oh, you were being courageous behind the scenes. Like, I'm sorry, no one should buy that. No one should believe that whatsoever.
She is I feel like the physical embodiment of a lot of the Democratic Party's problems. Like, it's illustrated in this one woman so perfectly. Let's get more into the identity conversation because one of the big revelations in the book is that her first choice to add to the vice presidential ticket was actually Pete Buttigieg and not Tim Walz. But she believed that as a black woman married to a Jewish man, adding a gay vice presidential candidate to the ticket would have been too much of a risk. Now, Rachel Maddow confronted her about this. It was maybe the most uncomfortable moment in a pretty, friendly interview. Let's go ahead and roll C3.
If his reaction to that, since this part of the book has come out, if you've had any reflection on that, or I guess I'd ask you to just elaborate on that a little bit. It's hard to hear. Yeah. With you running as, you're the first woman elected vice president. You're a black woman and a South Asian woman elected to that high office, very nearly elected president. To say that he couldn't be on the ticket effectively because he was gay, it's hard to hear.
No, that's not what I said. That he couldn't be on the ticket because he is gay. My point, as I write in the book, is that I was clear that in 107 days, in one of the most hotly contested elections for president of the United States against someone like Donald Trump who knows no floor. To be a black woman running for president of the United States and as a vice presidential running mate, a gay man, with the stakes being so high, it made me very sad, but I also realized it would be a real risk. No matter how, you know, I've been an advocate and an ally of the LGBT community my entire life. So it wasn't about, yeah, right. So it wasn't about any prejudice on my part, but we had such a short period of time. And the stakes were so high. I think Pete is a phenomenal public servant. And I think America is and would be ready for that. But when I had to make that decision with 2 weeks to go, you know, and maybe I was being too cautious. You know, I'll let our friends, we should all talk about that. Maybe I was. But that's the decision I made.
I like how powerful she thought it was that she was saying she believes Pete Buttigieg is a phenomenal public servant, as though that's some really important line coming from her, Kamala Harris.
I mean, where do you start with this? Like, on one level, it gives me flashbacks to the Bernie, Elizabeth Warren, you're a secret sexist because you told me, like, women can't be president or something like that conversation, which, you know, it appears what Bernie was actually saying was like, listen, sexism is a real thing. Trump will try to weaponize it, not like I think I'm sexist and I don't think you should be president. And so Maddow being, you know, high dudgeon about an analysis of, listen, it's so, you know, it's a lot to have a black woman and a gay guy on the ticket, and we know what Trump will do with that and whatever, is annoying to me. Then it's annoying to me that Kamala doesn't stand on business. Like, if that's what you thought and that was your analysis, like, girl, you put it in the book. This is actually, I'm sure you've had this experience too, where authors will say something provocative and then you go to interview them about it and they add like 1,000 caveats and you're like, dude, you wrote it. Like, say it with your chest, explain why you felt that way, rather than trying to like run away from it and be all scared, where it just comes off as weakness. So that's number 2. Number 3, the problem with Pete Buttigieg is not that he's gay, it's that he sucks. It's that he's a neoliberal shill who stands for nothing, who black people can't stand, right? Like, that's the problem with Pete Buttigieg, okay? Now, she doesn't have that problem with him, but that's the actual issue with him. Number 4, I think Pete should feel lucky that he dodged this bullet of having to be associated with this, you know, terrible campaign, which ended in disaster, in my opinion, for the country and the world. So there's that as well. So there's a lot of different layers going on here with this Pete Buttigieg commentary. And, you know, the last piece, well, there's 2 other pieces. On the question of, is the country ready for like a black woman and a gay man? Would that have been too much to ask the country to endure? Listen, I'm not one who says that sexism didn't play any role in this campaign. I think it did. I think that was part of, Trump ran this very campy man campaign. Remember the way that the Madison Square Garden rally was? Like, he leaned into this kind of gender divide.
Yeah, and Hulk Hogan ripping off his shirt at the RNC.
Exactly. So that was there, right? And I think there's a lot of hostility towards women right now in general. I genuinely feel that, coming from, like, you know, the red pill and the manosphere and whatever, like, guys can't get ahead and it's because of these damn women who are keeping them down and nagging them, and they need to be put in their place. Like, there is an energy of that right now.
You
that
should
is real.
stop doing that though, Crystal. You should
yeah,
stop.
I mean, I'm trying to work on myself, Emily, like the self-hating thing, but anyway, I'll get there. But
imagine how powerful Saagar could be without you nagging him.
I'm sure he feels that way. Some days he definitely feels that way. In any case, so that was definitely an energy. I think that was you know, I think that played into her loss. I'm not going to say it's the only fact, but I definitely think that was a factor in her loss as well. There may have been an argument for actually sort of leaning into that, like heightening the contradictions. I think it was maybe, who was it? Somebody was arguing for putting another woman on the ticket, like a Gretchen Whitmer or something like that, and actually leaning into it. And making the contrast explicit, not being afraid of it, not trying to do, you're like, I'm actually the one who prosecuted transnational gangs and is going to be bigger and badder and tougher than you are, because no one was going to buy that. So, you know, I'm not saying a gay man is equivalent to a woman, but if you're like doing the whole, we're going to be historic, I don't think that him being a gay man was really the challenge here. And then, yeah, I'll just leave it there. There's other things I could say, but you know, the bottom line is that Kamala is still this person who doesn't really believe anything, isn't really ready to stand on business on literally anything, wilts under the slightest criticism, is constantly trying to please absolutely everyone in a way that is just going to please absolutely no one.
So I'm shocked to hear you say that, because if we put C4 on the screen, the book actually opens with a Kendrick Lamar quote that I feel really captures the energy of Kamala Harris. I got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA. I was born like this. That is actually at the intro of the book. So Crystal, I'm confused to hear you say that she's not standing on business and that she's timid and seems ambivalent on some of the key issues, because she was born like this and royalty is in her DNA, and she listens to rap music, so I assume she's a very badass woman, despite because of the pantsuits.
Well, you know, I've said this after I did my feminist tirade, I'll say the very unfeminist thing of like, this lady loves cooking. Like, she should do a cooking show. She'd be so much happier. She's so much more, like, when you see her in the kitchen doing her thing, she's in her element. So the headline of the segment is, I believe Kamala Harris should be back in the kitchen.
Crystal ball. Kamala should come back to that's the headline. Literally, that is the headline. We'll see. I hope that is literally the headline. Now, Josh Shapiro is obviously getting in on the fun. So here's C5. We'll put this on the screen. Quote, Governor Josh Shapiro of Pennsylvania seemed more interested in defining the role for himself than helping her win. And Kamala Harris recounted how Shapiro was questioning an aide about the pieces of art he could use to decorate the vice president's residence.
I believe this about him, by the way. I think this is true.
Catching some strays in the otherwise very, I don't know, gentle memoir might be one way to put it. Let's go ahead and listen to Shapiro responding, C6.
I mean, look, I haven't read the former vice president's book, and she's going to have to answer to how she was in the room and yet never said anything publicly. I can tell you that I wasn't in the room, but when I was confronted with engagement with the former president, in looking at it simply from the perspective of how's he doing in Pennsylvania? Could he win Pennsylvania? Because I think, Stephen, you understand, if you can't win Pennsylvania, it's pretty darn hard to win the national election. And I was very vocal with him privately and extremely vocal with his staff about my concerns about his fitness to be able to run for another term. I was direct with them. I told them my concerns. I told them my worries. I told them what I was seeing in the polls. I think it seemed to me that maybe his staff wasn't counseling him with all the information that we knew on the ground here in Pennsylvania that, you know, frankly, they should have shared with the president.
Convincing, Crystal? You ready to vote for Shapiro?
I mean, I'm not a Shapiro fan. I believe the anecdote that there was some reporting to this effect at the time that he was very entitled and more like asking Kamala, like asserting what he wanted the role to be and assuming he had the job before even, you know, going through the auditions. And there was a bit of a like personality clash between them. And that's why she ultimately goes with Tim Walz. Like, I think that is probably accurate based on my vibes of Josh Shapiro. And, you know, I am incredibly biased against anyone who does the fake Obama impression when they're giving public speeches, of which he is certainly guilty. But just to wrap it all up in this Kamala book thing, you know, one of the things that she keeps going back to, and again, having not read the book, but judging by the title and the excerpts that I've seen and analysis that I've seen, and Kamala herself and how she's representing it, her big overarching excuse is just like, look, y'all, we just didn't have that much time. We didn't have enough time. If we'd had more time, I could have made the case better. I could have done this. I could have done that. It would have somehow magically made the situation better. It's unknowable, but based on what we actually saw and experienced, she was doing better earlier in the campaign when there was just excitement about someone different, when she was leaning more into some of the populist elements like the price gouging, when they were letting Tim Walz be more like do his weird critique, which seemed to land better than the more grandiose, like he's a fascist critique, even though he is a fascist. But the like these guys are weirdos and they're freaks and like fringe characters actually seem to land better with the public. So I don't see any evidence that more time would have benefited Kamala Harris. If anything, what we've seen from Kamala Harris' political career is actually the more that people have a chance to sit with the reality of her versus the idea of her or the resume of her, the more they're like not sure that this is the direction that they want to go in, politically. So from that perspective, it seems to me that the central premise and framing of the book, that it was too short a time period to succeed, is false or at least unsupported.
This is incontrovertible based on the polling data. If you believe it, this is incontrovertible. Kamala Harris enters the 2020 primary with a lot of money and very splashy media coverage and declines to the point where she can't make it to the Iowa caucuses, drops out literally before 2020 in December of 2019 because the more people see of Kamala Harris, the less people are interested in actually voting for Kamala Harris. She becomes vice president and has a very steadily, historically negative favorability rating. You could go ahead and look at Real Clear Politics' average of her. When she hits the campaign trail after taking the torch from Biden, she does get a very real honeymoon period where her popularity reverses again, and then around late September, October, it just crashes and has been going in the opposite direction ever since. So what Crystal just said is completely supported by the data when it comes to Kamala Harris, which should throw a real wrench into whatever political future she thinks she has. She might have been better off as a long-term California senator. Speaking of California, though, let's wrap up the segment with C7. This is Gavin Newsom. This is apparently Kamala Harris wrote that she called Gavin Newsom for an endorsement after Biden's exit, but he brushed her off with a short text that read, quote, "Hiking will call back." And that was it. Never heard anything else from Gavin Newsom, which is, Crystal, hiking will call back. That is how I plan to respond when you guys ask me to do something that I don't want to do in the future. Hiking will call back.
Hey, can you fill in for me? Oh, sorry, hiking. Get back to you.
Hiking will, it's like the Mark Sanford excuse. He was hiking the Appalachian Trail. He's
Appalachian Trail.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure someone who's steeped in California politics could tell us more about the Gavin Kamala likely rivalry. They probably low-key hate each other more than they even hate Republicans or whatever. If I had to guess. And so Gavin also is a finger in the wind kind of a guy. So if it was, at that moment, it was unclear what was going to happen. You had probably maybe Pelosi in his ear who wanted to have a different process play out and actually have some sort of a, short primary or DNC convention floor fight or something else play out. And so he just decided, I'm going to absent myself from this because there's no place that I deem to be politically safe.
Yes.
To land here, ultimately.
It's like Taylor Swift. I'd very much like to be excluded from this narrative. We're running long in today's show, so make sure you subscribe over at breakingpoints.com and watch the Friday show. We're going to talk about AOC and more on Gavin Newsom, actually, a potential team up in the works with AOC and Gavin Newsom. And numbers looking really great for AOC if she wanted to make her own presidential run in 2028. So we're going to do that in the Friday show. Make sure to tune in then, and you can get the full version of it over at breakingpoints.com. Let's go ahead, Crystal, and move on to Argentina and bring in our guest, Juan David Rojas.
Hey, if you like that video, hit the like button or leave a comment below. It really helps get the show to more people.
And if you'd like to get the full show ad-free and in your inbox every morning, you can sign up at breakingpoints.com.
That's right. Get the full show, help support the future of independent media at breakingpoints.com.
It looks like the United States is going to bail out Javier Milei and the Argentinian economy amid a slump in their market. So Juan David Rojas, writer at Compact, who has a new story on this, a great news story on this, with the headline "Trouble in Libertarian Paradise" over at Compact, joins us now. Juan, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of news actually on this front. Just before we were recording with you, Juan, this morning, we heard more from Scott Bessent about what this potential bailout, we can put the first tear sheet up on the screen, that's been publicly in the works, that we've been brought in on over the last couple of days, is going to, what that's actually going to look like. This is a great Financial Times rundown of what actually happened. It starts by saying, quote, "Less than 6 months ago, U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent was in Buenos Aires congratulating President Javier Milei for bringing Argentina back from the precipice as the Libertarian secured more than $40 billion in loans from the IMF and multilateral lenders to bolster his government. Now, with political and economic missteps sparking panic in Argentina's markets, the South American nation is once again on the brink, and the Trump administration is preparing to bail out its ideological ally." So, Juan, tell us what we learned this morning from Scott Bessent about what that bailout is going to look like.
Yeah, Bessent announced this morning that the Treasury is going to provide a $20 billion swap line to Argentina's central bank. Basically, Argentina's central bank will get a loan in dollars that they will have to pay back to the United States, which is extremely important because last week they spent over $1 billion of the $20 billion they have left in their foreign reserves defending the peso because it lost like a third of its value in the past month.
So let's actually back up on that note and explain what is the crisis that they're facing right now and what triggered this moment where, you know, they're in need potentially of a U.S. bailout.
Yeah, so over the past 50 years, really the one constant of all of Argentina's economic problems is the dollar. For our purposes, specifically the fact that the peso, Argentina's currency, is pegged to the dollar. What that means is that the government sets a margin within which the peso will float relative to the dollar, around like 1,000 something pesos for every dollar. And the problem with this is that you become completely beholden to the whims of investors that can be extremely fickle, and also the amount of dollars that your central bank has in its foreign reserves, because that's how you maintain that conversion between those two currencies. And if there's some kind of panic like what just happened, you need to spend all of your foreign reserves in order to keep that value of the peso. And so Milei, when he came in, said, "Okay, I'm going to fix this. Through libertarianism, I'm going to get government out of the way. I'm going to get rid of this peg, and everything's going to be great." Wow. So he took office in December of 2023 and did exactly that. He massively devalued the peso. It lost like 50% of its value overnight. And this caused inflation to skyrocket. Went from like 150% to like 300%. This makes perfect sense because if your currency loses a ton of its buying power overnight, well, then prices are going to shoot up. And so he said, whoops, okay, what do I do now? People elected me to control inflation. Okay, so he did exactly what his predecessors were doing. He restored the peg to the peso, and this worked. The peso, over the course of the next few months in 2024, recovered and even exceeded its previous peak. See, the problem with pegging your currency to the dollar in the case of a country like Argentina, where your currency has zero credibility, is that it's just extremely overvalued relative to its actual worth and the broader value of your economy. So anyway, Milei, inflation started to go down, and Milei says, "Oh, see, this is because libertarianism works." We can talk about that. There's some details, whether or not some of what he's done austerity-wise would have been worth it in the long run. But anyway, inflation by the end of 2024 fell from like 300% to around 30%. Then in 2025, he started to have a couple of setbacks. There was this big corruption scandal with his sister, who's also his chief of staff. There were recordings suggesting that she was taking bribes. The Congress passed some spending increases that he vetoed, and then Congress overrode his veto. And then what really set things off was that a week ago, Buenos Aires, the country's most important province, held provincial elections where Milei's party got destroyed, lost by like 13 points, something like that. And this really caused investors to panic because they saw it as a sign that the opposition Peronists that are left-wing were going to take control of the Congress next month in midterm elections. And so this caused, in Milei's words, a full market panic. And the peso, yeah, like I said, lost like a third of its value. The central bank spent $1 billion in just 3 days. It purportedly only has $20 billion left in reserve, which is really the exact amount that the IMF gave Argentina in January. Argentina is the single largest recipient of IMF loans in history. I saw something that in the past 30 years of the $200 billion that that the IMF has given out, Argentina's gotten a third of that. So it's really crazy.
Wow.
Let's take a listen. I want to get your reaction to this, actually, to what Donald Trump said about Milei while he was in New York for the United Nations General Assembly.
And to the people of Argentina, we're backing him 100%. We think he's done a fantastic job. He, like us, inherited a mess, and what he's done to fix it is good. And Scott is working with their country so that they can get good debt and all of the things that you need to make Argentina great again. So it's an honor for me to endorse the president and the future president of Argentina. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So he's sitting astride Milei there alongside Scott Bessent and Marco Rubio. Now, Juan, an interesting question based on everything you just said is to what extent the uncertainty that Milei has faced in 2025 is downstream of some of the uncertainty that Donald Trump has injected into the global economy from his economic policies. Is there a kind of circular way that Trump is bailing out Milei from a situation that he, in some sense, stoked in the Argentinian economy? Am I sounding crazy? Is there a connection there at all?
You know what? I hadn't thought about that. It's a good question. I guess, yeah, maybe investors are a bit more skittish than they would be otherwise. But I would say that generally that's not the case. There is one thing that did, like when Milei took power in 2023, one thing is that's when the Fed raised interest rates. And Argentina has, unfortunately, way too much of its debt in dollars. Again, there's this circular problem with the dollar. And so when interest rates go up, well, interest payments on your debt also go up, and that caused Argentina's debt to skyrocket. So, and that honestly, I would say is a big part of what got Milei elected.
Interesting. Could you tell me a little bit more? First of all, I wanted to opine on how the support of Milei just reveals how content-free Trumpism is, because it's not like, allegedly, they are not ideologically the same. But since Milei will be a good little boy and do whatever the U.S. wants him to, then he gets, favored status regardless of his. Because I think there's a lazy assumption that they're sort of like closely ideologically aligned, and on some levels, yes. But I'm sure you could lay out even better than I could, like on a lot of levels, no. But I was also curious what did happen in that Buenos Aires election. Was it surprising that his party suffered such a defeat? What are people reading into, like, the message that is being sent by voters, and what are they unhappy with, under Milei?
Sorry, remind me the first part of the question?
Just you can just weigh in on the second part. The first part was how Trump and Milei are not
yeah. That's right. No, I do want to talk about
the second part is just about the Buenos Aires elections. Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, Trump really, what Trump is like a Gilded Age Republican, kind of. Like, it's protectionism abroad and free marketeerism at home. And Milei is just the free marketeerism everywhere. So Trump is a huge protectionist, the tariffs, all that. Milei hates tariffs. So in that way, they're extremely different. But yeah, as far as like Doge and, the deregulation, all of that, yeah, they're pretty simpatico. Really, I actually do see a lot of this. Well, on the one hand, Trump, he really just loves anyone who says good things about him. But on the other hand, geopolitically, and it's not really that Argentina actually offers any, I call it moral support. Milei really has prostrated himself before Washington, and he supports all of our foreign wars, Ukraine, Israel, and also what we're doing now in Venezuela, and the sanctions regime against Cuba, Nicaragua, etc. As far as that election in Buenos Aires, to be fair, Buenos Aires is a bastion of Peronism, the opposition, And so he was expected to lose there, but not by as much as he did. Lost by like 13 points. And the polls showed him as being more competitive. And now he's started to slide in these midterm elections. His party has a minority in both chambers of Congress, though there's like a couple of other parties that have kind of allied with him. But the fear, like I said now, is that the Peronists will be able to take back control. As far as what the broader population thinks, all things considered, Milei's approval rating is still pretty good, though his disapproval has gone up a lot. And the thing is, his austerity regime has caused this horrible economic depression in the country. Something like 40% of the country is living in poverty. On the other hand, you can make the case that he has managed to bring down some of Argentina's debt, which was really out of control before he took office. So I'm not sympathetic to Milei or libertarianism, but I'm trying to give you the other side. But people are just kind of saying, it's like, okay, inflation has come down some, although it's misleading how the financial press reports this, because they've